put Streamlabs here. Cool. Hello, what is up? Hell of a hotel 666. How you doing today? How's your day? I love your vids, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I try very little with them. I do very little. They're the most low effort content ever. I'll be honest with you. Uh, but yeah, I'm very glad to thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. Sorry, just getting started here. Got a notified Discord. I got to do all this stuff. All right, let's go over there. Let's go to Takefinity. Let's make sure it's started over there. Boom. Let's go to my channel. Let's pop out the chat. Boom. There it is. Favorite straight furry is crazy. I'm not a furry, man. I'm not a furry. It's like, why are we like, huh, where does this even come from? Also, what's up? But yeah, I'm not a furry. Come on, let's stop this. End this right now. But yeah, what's up, Libra? Why aren't you Christian? Not a bad no, you're good. I'm just not a Christian because I don't see any evidence of God being real. That's really about all it comes down to. I looked for the evidence of God, and all of the evidence was baloney. It was garbanzo beans. It was suffering succotash. It wasn't good. It wasn't good evidence. Do your parents allow you to listen to? I'm almost 30. Yeah, first off, one of my parents is dead, and the other one I'm no contact with, and thirdly, I'm, oh wait, do you say did or do? Oh, you said do. Yeah, I'm almost 30, man. I live on my own. But back when I was a Christian in their house, they didn't care too much. Did the universe have a beginning? I don't think the universe itself had a beginning. Like, I think the stuff that makes up the universe has always existed. No such thing as used to be a Christian. Either you are or you never were. I don't whatever you got to tell yourself, Nate. There's proof of Jesus being a real person and his resurrection. There's very little proof of him being a real person, and there's no proof of his resurrection. So you just finished gooning to a fanfic. Dude, why did I need to know that, man? Quacks, hello? Like what? The fuck? Hello, my favorite sexually fluid. Why are we? Huh? I'm not answering. No, fuck no. Hell no. Can life come from non-life? According to Abiogenesis, yes, it can. Same way you think life can come from non-life by God making men from dust. You know? But Abiogenesis explains the progression of life as we know it. What's up, Ari? Good to see you. Good to see you. You joined at an interesting time. Yeah, I'm just getting started here, so I love it. Face reveal, not for a while, not for a long while, honestly. I get too many death threats as is, so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna wait on that one. Are you supportive of the LGBTQIA plus community? Yeah. I don't care at all what anybody does with other consenting adults. Will lead you to distance yourself from God? I looked at the evidence for God and found all of it unconvincing. See, what do we turn into when we die? Dust. The same way we die is the same way we were created. I mean, it sounds like you are a proponent of abiogenesis. If so, I mean, W, right? What's your theory of death? I think you just cease to exist after you die. I think that's kind of it for you. Do you have a JOI second account? Dude, what? No, I don't have a JOI second account, man. What the fuck, dude? What are we, like, why are we asking these? What? Huh? Anyway, you've been summoned. You have been summoned. What's up, Rip? How you doing? Your own breath is speaking God's name? No, my own breath is, my lungs working. That's how that works. I really hope we know how lungs work. What do you believe in? I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine, paranormal, magical, religious, spiritual, anything like that personally. Will lead you to distance yourself from God. So I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction, and deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if we find any veracities in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. So you have one life and you're spending it trying to convince other people that they have one life. I mean, if you don't want to be here, scroll away. You know, that's free will, quote unquote, in action, right? Like, if you don't want to be here, it's not the stream for you. That's fine. I get it. Just scroll away. Just scroll on them by. Has abiogenesis ever been observed? I mean, the protocell experiments and the Miller-Urey experiment and multiple scientific experiments show that it's a viable model. If we want to argue that the direct observation of things that take millions of years is what proves them correct, I just ask you I'd ask you if you observe God making a universe, and I can guarantee you haven't. Do you still believe religion is a good thing, though? It can be in some scenarios. It can. It's yes and no. If you were to die, how would you want your funeral to look like? I don't know if I even want a funeral, honestly. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Funerals are kind of iffy to me. I've been to a lot of funerals and just put the body in a box, stuff it full of formaldehyde, and you just like dress it up and do all this shit to it, and just have everybody cry around it and touching and shit. It's just, I don't know. That seems kind of odd to me. I don't know. Goodness. Anyway, Big Ol' Wiener, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. That really caught me off guard. That's quite the name. Thank you. Non-theistic religions can be better. Yeah, absolutely. I think that like Satanism, Buddhism, things that don't make claims about gods that have to be appeased are going to give way for better societies than thinking that we should toss up all of our intuitions and all of our entire lives to like one central figure, you know? Former atheist, now spiritual after an NDE. Well, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad you found what works for you. It's God. I mean, yeah, you notice that godless. Yeah, that's what that is. Is God actually Satan? Satan plays us right, so why is God not Satan? I mean, this is a fantastic question. I mean, God did lie in the Garden of Eden when he said you will surely die if you eat the fruit, so I don't know. Do I want a donut right now? I could go for a donut. Sure, why not? How do you know if the way you're living life is objectively correct? I don't think there's like an objectively correct way to live your life. I don't see the outside standard. Would I be gay for $1 million? What kind of question is that, man? Would I like, dude? I'm a straight man, dude. Would I be gay for $1 million? Like, what the fuck kind of question is that, dude? Of course I would. I want to be taxidermied and go to the strip club. I don't care what they do with my body after. That sounds awful. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want any. I don't want to see a stripper. I don't want to be near a stripper. Like after I'm dead, just take my ass out. You have a question? Have you play Ultra Kill? It's a game on Steam. Play it. No, I haven't played it. Haven't heard of it. I don't have it, and I'm not gonna play it right now. You'd be gay for $7. Hey, hell yeah, there you go, man. What's an atheist? Somebody that doesn't believe in a god or gods. That's literally it. What do you think about dominionists and the Christian right? I'm not sure what a dominionist is. Like the Christian conservatives out there are destroying the country. I think that's, you know, when the kindest words possible, I don't think very positively of them. Do I believe in Deism? What the fuck kind of question is that, man? No. Is this only comments? Yeah, there's 34 people on, make that 38 on TikTok, 69, nice, 69 on YouTube so far, so I want to talk to multiple people instead of just like hammering it down to one person. 4-leaf clover emoji, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. She's doing good. She's asleep right now, so I'm trying to be a little quiet. Yeah, I'll tell her you said hi or whatever when she wakes up. You're cool. I'm a Christian. I don't really know if I actually believe in God, and I don't know what to do. I would say read the Bible, and I mean it unironically. Read the Bible, look at reality, see how it compares, and you know, that's what did it for me. What do you think? Oh, I already read that. I asked this last stream, but I left before I could see if you responded. What's your opinion on the argument from reason? Like, just that we have the ability to reason, and that like has to mean that the God exists. Is that what you mean? Because if so, I'm not seeing that. I don't personally see the correlation. I'm not seeing like how the human ability to establish a framework that we use to parse the world around us means that a God has to be necessary. That's I don't personally ascribe to it. Obviously, I'm not going to tell her you're single, dude. No, fuck off. No. What happened to all the mods? Nobody's in right now, so it's just kind of free for all. The Bernard Shaw once said the road to atheism is littered with Bibles read cover to cover. Yeah, in my experience, that was exactly the case. I started it Genesis 1:1, finished it Revelation 22:21, front to back, cover to cover. Like at the end of it, I'm like, okay, yeah, something's wrong. Something's not quite right. I'll happily mod for you. No, that's fine, dude. I don't need mods right now. It's like the only things I care about are like spam and intellectual dishonesty. Quacks, I'm never gonna mod you. I'll be honest with you. Like, I would rather I can't say on TikTok what I'd rather do to myself than mod you, but yeah, it's not looking too good. It's more evidence of God in a God than abiogenesis. Prove it. Show me the experiments for God, and I'll grant it as soon as I see him. What's up, Reverse? Good to see you. How's your day going? How's your day? It doesn't follow the view is circular, and the whole point is for a precept to beat ultimate skepticism. Are you talking about like the argument from reason? If so, I would agree with you. What's your reaction to people saying everything happens for a reason? I just disagree. I don't think everything happens for a reason. I think there's a cause behind everything happening, but like, is there some ultimate good reason for everything? No, I don't think that's the case. Some of y'all spent this much effort into getting a job or investing money, y'all would be rich. I have a job and I do invest. So, project harder. Who do I ban? Send Quacks packing. Yeah, Quacks. Yeah, just because. Did he do anything wrong whatsoever? No. Just get him out because I feel petty? Yeah, actually. Yeah, get him out. Get him on out of here. What's your definition of God? My definition? I don't know. If I had to define a God, like just the cause of the intentional mind possessing cause of the universe, I guess. Tony loves God. Thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. Have you ever had paranormal encounters? I would say I had what I felt were paranormal encounters, but ultimately I don't think there was anything paranormal about them. Why do you believe it's real if you've never been? What do I believe what's real? Oh, let's see. What'd you say? What's one place you want to go to but never been? Oh, like the Philippines? Probably the Philippines. Yeah, probably the Philippines. Yeah. Just walk around Manila for a bit. Just let it all hang out. No homo. Just yeah. Kratos, a god of war, almost destroyed the world. I'll be honest. I played what was it, God of War 3. I did not like that fucking game. The God of War games just didn't do it for me. It was just like, I like the characters, but something about the gameplay just wasn't satisfying. Why'd you turn into an atheist? I turned into an atheist because I saw no evidence for God being real. That's all it is. What are the chances of Earth having perfect gravity and distances from the sun and moon? I would say the chances of that are certain because it happened. But to be a little bit less obtuse about it, I think that if the God that you want to argue for, that's the cause of this, is the God that created the whole universe, that's, well over 99%. 99% isn't even cut in, like, we're talking like 99.9999999, like that big number percent. That's completely, totally inhospitable for life. Like, he created all of that, but created just this one planet. Also, just a whole universe just for us. Whole universe that we can't live in. I'm just not seeing the tune in there personally. BBL, thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. John 3:16. That is a verse. Nate, again, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with some random on TikTok about my former beliefs. Like that's a waste of my time. Come with something better. Would I go to Tel Aviv? I would go to Tel Aviv if they were you know, like having a better time right now. Like right now, they're not having the best time. So no, I'm not going anywhere that's not having a good time. Uh, you're doing good to have 20 people in here. Yet comments are fast. I got 30 in lives and crickets. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's honestly a mixed bag on TikTok. I think part of it is the fact that I just don't bring up guests very often. It's and that I give everybody a chance to say their piece is I think that's pretty big for engagement. If you're a skeptic, are you skeptical of your own positions? Yeah, absolutely I am. I think that yeah, I think that I have the just as much potential to be wrong as what I currently believe as I could about the things that I used to believe. The difference between why I accept the things that I accept now versus why I don't accept the things I used to is that I did my due diligence of figuring out you know, how likely is it that my beliefs are true. Who pinned this, dude? Come on. Why are we pinning dumb shit again, dude? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? No, who pinned it? I wish if TikTok Live Studio showed me who pinned stuff, I would. There would be some earfuls going around. Who's pinning this dumb shit, dude? Come on, let's get a name. Let's get a name. Don't all speak at once. Is there a point to atheism? Like an objective point to it? No, there's no point to atheism. There's no point to believing in a god. There's no point to any of this if you really go deep enough into it. Have you heard of astral projection before? Yeah, I have heard of astral projection, and you know, it's cool dreams, I guess, but I don't see any reason to think that it's not like just a vision or a dream or anything like that. What's your logical conclusion of life and worldview? I have a lot of different ones. If you're talking about religiously, I'm an agnostic atheist. If you're talking about how do I parse the world around me, I'm a phenomenal conservatist. Just depends on what position we're talking about. How you let the devil take over now? That's got to be really exhausting to think that there's like some invisible evil force that doesn't want you to question the validity of the things you believe in. That's got to fucking suck. BBL would never do such a thing. Don't try to throw BBL under the bus, sleeper. Come on, dude. Do I believe Jesus was a real person? Honestly, not really. I don't even grant that much at this point. I'm so far gone at this point. Building must have a builder. Creation must have a creator. Sure, but show that the universe is intentional creation without just trying to bake your conclusion into your premise. I want to know your theory on why you exist. My parents had sex like 30 years ago, and that's why I exist. Letting go of religion made my life a million times better. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. 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 Just yeah. I was just thinking about it today. That's why I'm like kind of floored about it. But I was just thinking today, like, man, it's all this. Just I don't know. It's just you don't know until you're in it how peaceful things can be without somebody watching you. Also, what's up, Ash? Good to see you. Even science says that life comes from life, so anything living has to come from life, even God. So, even God. Or is he just, quote unquote, the source of life that doesn't have to come from anything living? If that's the case, then you don't even believe your own rule. How could you believe in God? How does that make sense? How could I believe in God? I don't personally believe in God. Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going to go after you die? I think you just cease to exist. I think it's just lights out for you. Just GG, no respawn, just in the dirt before you were born, basically. Just no ability to experience anything whatsoever. Jazz, whatever you got to tell yourself, man. Why you're not Christian anymore? Just skepticism. Just lack of evidence for Christianity being true is, you know, why I'm don't believe. Your own arguments are self-defeating. I appreciate your opinion. How do you think people were created? I think that humans evolved from common ancestors, like a prior ancestor, and I think all life as we know it evolved from the last universal common ancestor, which was formed via abiogenesis over the course of millions of years. GG, no reboot card, exactly. No reboot card, no goddamn, no chug jug, no fucking goddamn slurp fish, it's none of it. What about the Ark? Noah's Ark is one of the most laughably untrue stories in the Bible. It's so horrifically untrue, it's not even funny. I could name like 10 reasons off the top of my head why it makes no sense. What do you personally think is the meaning of life? I don't think there's an objective meaning to life. I think it's up to you as a person to figure out the purpose of your own life. I think it's just, that's all I think it is to it. It's like, you're the agent, you're the living person. I like to say that you're the pilot of your own plane, basically, you know? They found the ark. They did not find the ark. That was a hoax by Ron Wyatt. He was a fraudster. He was a con man. He was a liar. He was not an archaeologist. He was a nurse. So sorry you had to hear it from me. Evolution doesn't inherently disprove the existence of a God. I agree with you on that one. That's one of the things we agree on. But the fact that I accepted evolution doesn't mean, like, it had nothing to do with me tossing away my belief in a God. That's why I find it really extra unacceptable when people are like want to be so literalist about it that they just outright deny science in favor of a book with talking animals in it. Does it not take more faith to believe that everything evolved by chance? Here's all I have to say to you saying it's all like more faith, whatever. Wait 1 second. That's it. Like, just thumbs up. Cool. That's an opinion. A useless one at that. Just takes more faith. It takes more faith to not believe my particular religion. Okay. And? Turn back to him. He's waiting for you. None for me, thanks. What's up, seeingkids.com? How you doing today? So tired, man. You got made fun of at school. Your senior got your religion mocked and dead named. Oh, that's damn, you had a rough one. Yeesh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's awful. I'm sorry. He's hurting bad. Someone took the jam out of his donut. No, nobody took the jam out of my donut. Turn to Islam. None for me, thanks, Jamal. What's up, Mortex? Good to see you. Have you ever had a shared dream with someone before? No, I haven't shared any dreams with anybody as far as I know. At least, yes, I don't really talk about my dreams with people. Give me your thoughts about the contingency argument. How do I best explain this? It builds off, like, it's basically a reheated Kalam cosmological argument. It just presupposes an ultimate cause for the universe when even physicists don't say that the universe had a defined cause past the point of the expansion. They don't know one way or the other. But it says, like, oh, it definitely did, so therefore God was the cause of it. And this one is basically, oh, things within the universe are contingent, therefore the whole manifold itself is contingent, and it's contingent on my particular God. I think it's just precept nonsense, honestly. How were humans made? I think humans formed via evolution over the course of many, many years. The Lord's power is deep inside me. The Lord's power is going to be really deep inside me later, but spoiler alert, I gotta be really quiet when I do it. That's because I'm like on the bed now. It's not like I'm on my in my chair anymore, so I can't just like really go as hard as I want to. I'm not trying to wake her up. Precepts are the most annoying to debate. I don't even debate them, honestly. I got nothing to prove to them. I just ignore them at this point. It's like, if we want to just say, oh, I'm going to assume this, therefore I'm going to make this argument that you have to accept without meeting the same assumption, I'm just going to think you're a moron. What's your opinion on Binding of Isaac or Detroit Become Human? I haven't read either of them. Not read, played any of them. When I think of Binding of Isaac, I think of like the story in Genesis of Abraham and Isaac. So I think it's like a book or something, but no, I haven't played any of them, so I couldn't tell you. How does it feel to be an atheist? In comparison to being a Christian, it feels peaceful. I'd say that much. It feels like I'm being honest and I'm being consistent. For sure. It feels honest. It feels consistent. It feels peaceful, at least more peaceful than it used to feel as a Christian. You're pregnant because of the Lord's power. He better pay child support. I thought you were serious for a second. I was about to say, ooh, I see you. You being a little, let me stop. But yeah, speaking of child support, the Lord owes me a lot of money back. He owes me so much goddamn money. It's not even, I wish it were funny. I've been working since I was 14 years old. I've had a job since I was like 14. Like, yeah, obviously some months in between, maybe altogether, but I've been working since I was like 14. I was sitting here paying tithes and shit, 10%. The fuck is a 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old doing paying tithes? What the fuck are we doing? Come on, man. Here you never debate real topics. I mean, what do you consider a real topic? If the earth was created by chance and something had to certainly design it to be 71% water that we can't live in, design it to be 97% water that we can't drink. That's designed to you. Design it for earthquakes and tsunamis and hurricanes and mudslides and typhoons and volcanic eruptions and all this stuff. That's designed to you. Designed it to rotate around a star that gives us cancer. Are we fucking joking? Surely we're joking, right? What does a god need money anyway? I don't fucking know. Just all powerful, but doesn't know how to pay his goddamn bills. What do you have to lose by being a Christian? If anything, all you get. You have to lose your Sundays. You have to lose your mental health by thinking that you're inherently, worthy of eternal punishment or whatever you think hell is. You get to lose your mental health by thinking somebody's always watching you, trying to hold you up to a standard. There's a lot of things you lose by being a Christian, for sure. Have you seen Hasman and Haluva? No, I haven't. I probably never will. It's a little out there with the. I try to be as non-tistic as possible with the things I consume, so that's a little out there for me. No offense whatsoever. All right. Looks like you're just gonna spam it, so I'm gonna go get you on out of here. We got our first skadoosh of the evening. Everybody say goodnight to what's this dude's name? Swaylays on YouTube. I'm gonna go get you on out of here, dude. Have a good rest of your night. I appreciate it, but skadoosh, man, skadoosh, man. Let's get the fuck out, dude. Why? Like, ooh, just pay attention to me. Like, get the fuck out, man. How you doing here? What's up, Big Dum Dum? Good to see you. I'm doing all right. How about yourself? Who's my favorite artist? I don't know if I have a single favorite. Deftones is up there right now. Amira Elthaki is up there right now. Lights is up there right now. Kendrick Lamar is always going to be up there, probably. The Neighborhood's going to be up there for, like, I say that's like my top 5. What's up, Queen? Good to see you. How's your day going? What if you realize there's a God at the end? Then I realize there's a God at the end. Pay attention to me. I'm God. Bliss, you got my full undivided attention. Playboy Cardi? No, his past 2 albums were pretty mid. Die Lit was really, really good, but his past 2 were just really bad. What do we come from? That inhospitable soup, aka ocean, undrinkable water. I mean, if we're talking about like the formation of RNA, DNA, lipid layers and cell membranes and all these things over the course of millions and millions and millions of years, then it's going to make a lot more sense. I think if we want to argue that the planet that we live on being just fitting us just well enough means that it was made for us, it's kind of ignoring that there's a lot of it that doesn't. And if we want to argue like, oh, we didn't evolve then there would be no life able to survive in the parts that we aren't able to, like, there'd be no saltwater fish, for instance. Come the fuck on now. Thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. Does not science agree that the Big Bang happened out of time and in an instant? Out of time? No, it doesn't say out of time. It doesn't make any sort of temporal or chronological claims. It did say it happened in an instant, though. It said it happened in like a very, very short amount of time that it took to expand past a certain point. Dragon Bar Lord 28, thank you for the follow. Haluva Hotel 666, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate y'all. What's up, Magnolia? Good to see you. How's your day? How's y'all's night? How's y'all's life? Where does your purpose come from, and why is it objective without a creator? I don't think my purpose is objective. I don't think anybody's purpose is objective, but where does mine come from? It was just me looking at my life, reflecting on it, and thinking, where do I want this to go? And that's where it came from for me. I feel like everybody should have that moment, though, and I don't feel like it's up to anybody to tell anybody else that their purpose for life, quote unquote, is incorrect. Romer John Kade, thank you for, that is the most Filipino name I've heard all day, but thank you for the follow. I mean, subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. The science of time regarding the Big Bang is batshit crazy when you look into it. Oh yeah, it's pretty out there for sure. What's church like? I'm atheist, so you've never been. Oh man, how do I best describe it? Imagine everybody giving thanks and worship and dancing and like playing loud music to a creator, like some invisible force that's not there and that everybody thinks is there, and reading a book featuring talking animals and people rising from the dead and telling a story about How this invisible creator sacrificed a human being that was his own son for a curse that he chose to put on humanity in the first place, and that's what church is. Godless Conson. I'm just gonna call you Godless. Thank you for the heart, man. I appreciate you. What do you think of Tyler the Creator? I haven't heard his most recent album, but I really loved Igor. It's one of my. I didn't go so far as to say one of my top, definitely 30 albums of all time. It's up there, man. It's up there. Church life is basically very specific, hallucinatory worship concerts. Yeah, exactly. Right. Oh, the chat is fake. No, the chat's not fake. The chat's not fake. Report the video for being a fake live stream. See how far that gets you. What made you stop believing in Christianity? I just looked at the evidence and found all of it unconvincing. That's what convinced me. Why is God mad at people for getting tricked by the devil? Shouldn't God punish the devil for tricking his children? These are the good questions. I'll do you one better. Why is the devil even allowed in the Garden of Eden? Why did he put the fruit tree that he didn't want him to eat from in the center of the Garden of Eden? The whole Genesis story makes no goddamn sense when you really think about it. Do I have a girlfriend? If so, is she religious? Yes and yes, but she's lukewarm about it. Like, believes it, but thinks it's crazy. Like, I think we find some common ground on that. What's got mad at people? Oh, I already read that. You're an atheist, but your whole family is Orthodox. How do you ever tell them anything? I would say on your own time, whenever you want to, and if you ever want to in the first place. It's completely your information to tell, so I don't want to infringe too much on your ability to convey that information. Oh, sweet. Get reported. Okay. Thank you for the rose, Godless. I appreciate you. The devil loves gardening. Yeah, the devil's he's loves some gardening. He loves some fruit. He likes destroying families on a bet, I guess, with all powerful beings. Sure, I guess. Love your vids, dude. I appreciate that, Avi. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. I would say I try my best with them, but I don't. Let's get you on out of here. Sounds like this isn't the stream for you. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Controversial topic here. What are your thoughts on people being forced into Christianity by current political parties? I think it's highly unacceptable. Very unacceptable. I might get banned here on TikTok soon. But yeah, it's ultimately very unacceptable for sure. Found you on YouTube. Yeah. If anybody wants to follow, like, subscribe to the YouTube, check out my the link in my bio. It's right there. It's in case you want to subscribe. But I appreciate you subscribing on YouTube. Also, Lucius Light, thank you for following on TikTok. I appreciate it. What do you think about LGBTQ? Love them. Love them as much as I do the average person. Somebody's where they put their peen or who they allow to, do the things with the bits. It's not my concern, as long as it's consensual, an adult, and a human being. Do you think anything in the Bible is true? I think there's some true characters in it, like some real people, but that's about it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you some time off. I can't stand spam, dude. I'm gonna give you a minute. Take 60 seconds, dude. Don't spam, man. Let's just not spam. Kinsey thinks I care about her opinion about my former faith. Ain't that something? No, the Job story wasn't Satan. It was the adversary role, which anyone could take into discussion. I feel like that's one of the most non-points ever to argue. I'm not even going to engage with it, honestly. Just got baptized 3 hours ago. Oh, it's good for you. Did you take a shower beforehand? I hope. I don't speak Spanish. I want to translate that though. De que hablas el que no tiene sentido eres tú. I don't know what that means, honestly. Let me give you some time out really quickly. Skadoosh. Spam it about 50 more times and I'll start believing it. Would you be a philosopher? Would you would you be a philosophies person if it won't affect you being an atheist? I'm not really interested in like digging too deep into philosophy because there's just nothing pragmatic about it, and they would even admit it if they're, you know, they would even admit such a thing. It's just I can't really apply it to my knowledge base all that much. It would help me parse the world around me, like learn about different viewpoints and perspectives and things, but I don't know. It's just not for me personally. Thank you for the follow, Addison. I appreciate it. Sorry for spamming. I don't watch TikTok much. My bad. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Just please don't spam. I know it's kind of annoying for me to not answer every single last one of your questions, but there's 135 people on YouTube, 40 on TikTok. So I'm just trying my best here. Have you ever played any Soulsborne games? No, I haven't. They're just not up my alley personally. Do you believe anything? I don't believe anything supernatural or divine, paranormal, magical, spiritual, religious, anything like that personally. Once you left the church, you became more fascinated by Christian mythology. Oh, it's for me. I wish I could like find some interest in a story. Like I openly admit, the Bible's would be a really good story, right? Not one with a good ending. Obviously, not one with the protagonist being a good person, but it would be a really nice tragic story if they didn't try to say it was anything but a story, you know? So, but just being so devoutly believing in it and then not believing in it anymore is, I can't separate it from myself, honestly. You think you and 100 men could defeat a gorilla? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Also, don't spam it. Will I make an X account? I already have an account on X. I have I guess I might as well just like promo my shit real quick. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick Trovo. I feel like I'm gonna forget. I'm on so many different platforms. Goddamn. Like Clapper, Blue Sky, Lemonade, Threads, Red Note. You know, I'm really preparing for the TikTok, man, because I feel like it'll happen eventually. Got a subreddit, got a Discord server, got a Snapchat. All that's in the link in my bio. Do you ever get scared since atheist judgment day could happen every second? I guess any second. No, I don't believe in the thing, so I have no reason to be scared of it. Opinions on black holes, they exist. That's about all I can say about them. Why don't you like Whole Lotta Rip by Playboy Cardi? I don't know. It's just no sonic progression for me, honestly. It's just kind of random all over the place. It was really insufferable and grating to listen to after a while. Satan is real. Prove it. What were you denominationally? I was a Baptist until I was 16, and I was an apostolic until I was 18. And then after that, I was deconstructing for a year, so I left the church. But I was still believed in God, but I didn't go to church. I've been back to churches, but I haven't gone back to a church as a believer, you know, so. Milton Minas, thank you for following on TikTok. I appreciate it. I would not say blah, blah, blah if I look like that. Skadoosh. Take care. Have a good one, Emily. What's the point if you're an atheist? There's no upside. I mean, just saying like there's claimed upsides and claimed downsides. It's like I could just say, oh, believe in a God named fucking, I don't know, Christina. It's like Christian, but just the last two letters transposed, right? Believe in this because, if you don't believe in it, then, you just have to watch One Guy, One Jar every day for 100 years. And if you do believe in it, then you get unlimited pizza. It's just like, are you going to believe in it? No, because that's absurd. Conversely, I think Christianity, like the story of it's pretty absurd, so I can't make myself believe in it. What's your favorite Transformer? I think Starscream's pretty funny. Yeah. And the old cartoon that was like back in like I think it was like 90s or early 2000s, he was my favorite for sure. Daniel, stop spamming. Bye. 5 minutes. Have a good one. But what came to the conclusion to switch religions? I left Christianity because I just didn't see any evidence for it being true, but you're muted for 5 minutes because please don't spam. What's the difference between the Torah / Old Testament and the Bible / New Testament? The Old Testament preaches of a coming Messiah. in the way that God interacted with people in ancient Judea, you know, so it preached the Messiah's coming, basically, and in Christianity, basically, their whole thing is like, here's the Messiah, here he is, Son of God, all that good stuff. Why did you become an atheist? Lack of evidence for Christianity being true is why I became an atheist. What's up, Widely? Good to see you. The NT lies a lot more. I think they both lie, but yeah, more or less, I don't know. At that point, it's just splitting hairs, but yeah, I see where you're coming from for sure. What do you believe happens after death? And because why would you just be able to cease to exist? I feel like the only reason people have an issue with ceasing to exist, like experientially, is because the brain doesn't know how to do that. The brain can't comprehend being nothing because the brain and its ability to think is something. So, yeah, but that's ultimately what I think happens to you. Why do you say lack of evidence? Because of a lack of evidence, right? Like, I don't know how much more plain I could be with that. Evidence, a lack of it. That's really all I could say about that. Could you sweat on a Bible in a court case and lie in good, like swear on a Bible in a court case and lie in good faith? I mean, if the court case is like cared about the religion of the person that may swear on the Bible, then I just humbly say, like, I don't believe in it, so I plan to tell the truth regardless, or I plan to lie regardless. I'm not going to tell them that, though, right? But I'll be like, you know, I plan to tell the truth regardless, so it's like, do you still want me to swear on the Bible in particular? But just know I don't believe in it, and if it'll be up to them if they want me to or not. But if I swore on the Bible, I'd still tell the truth, because I get the symbolism behind it, you know? Are you going to listen to Jack Boys 2 by Travis Scott when it drops? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love the first one. I liked, what was that one song? Gotti with Pop Smoke and What to Do by Don Toliver. That's a really good song. It's been stuck in my head recently. Being atheist gives freedom, but also scary knowing there's nothing in the end. Yeah, it can be a little daunting for sure. It can be a little bleak, but you get over it after a while. I can promise you for sure. Welcome to our side. It's good to be over here. Thanks for having me. Hate speech and hateful behaviors. Okay, some people are butthurt. Hate to see it. So the Bible isn't true in your eye? No, I don't believe the Bible to be true. I think the Bible is a historically fictional story. Like, because people really kind of get hung up on the word historical fiction, but is anybody here seen Inglourious Basterds, like the Quentin Tarantino movie, where like like Brad Pitt and his group of people were, you know, trying to ultimately like get rid of Hitler during World War II? Like, that's historical fiction. Like, obviously the story itself didn't happen like that, but it references like a real time in history, real people, things like that, you know? Do I like fried chicken? Who doesn't? What's an atheist? Somebody who doesn't believe in a god or gods. That's all it means. No, you're good. You're good, Godless. I didn't even see the spam. You're good. I'm not saying I'm not Christian, but the Bible doesn't make sense sometimes. Yeah, that's the Bible not making sense is precisely why I'm not a Christian. Do you see a black screen after death? You don't see anything. It's like, think about before you were born, basically. It's like that all over again. Like, there was no experiencing anything whatsoever before you were born because your mind didn't exist yet. And after you die, it's like that again. At least I think it is, because your mind no longer exists. What do you think about other religions in terms of cult and traditions? I think they're interesting, and I really do want to get more into like traveling the world and like interviewing people who believe in these things and like see what they believe, why they believe it, check out their practices and stuff. Like, I think they're interesting. I just think they're untrue ultimately. Are you scared of death? I'm scared of how I'm gonna die, but I'm not scared of like the fact that I'm gonna die. Can't trust anyone who was once a Christian. Don't worry, I'll be all right. I don't bite. Why'd you convert? Lack of evidence for Christianity being true is why I left Christianity. Used to be Catholic. Now you're an atheist. Hey, welcome in. I used to be Protestant. I was Baptist until I was 16, and then Apostolic until I was 18. A black screen after death implies you will see any color at all. Exactly. It's like, it's not you just being stuck in your body like, oh, let me out. It's just like there's no you whatsoever. Like, you're dead. It's over for you. Yeah, not even nothing. I wouldn't say not even nothing. It's like it is the truest form of nothing, I should say. I'm not scared of death. I'm scared of not living. Fair is fair. I am scared of dying. I'm not scared of not being alive. I think I'm the exact opposite. Good to see you, Alden Lar. What's up, man? What do you think about furries? I don't have a positive or negative opinion about them. It's just a thing that people do. That's love that for them, I guess. It's not for me. I think it's a little odd, but yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. Elise, thank you for the heart, man. Appreciate it. How's my favorite anti-theist doing? Congrats, man. Oh, shucks. Thanks, man. Aw. No. And also thank you for the shoot the apple. I appreciate it. I think that's supposed to be like an effect from, I really got to do a face reveal eventually, because if there's going to be gifts like those being sent, I want to actually like have them track on my face and stuff. Do I play any sports or instruments? I don't play any sports. I can kind of play the cello. I haven't played it since I was in high school, and I know a couple of basic songs on piano, and that's about it. I feel like reincarnation is more likely because we are an infinite cycle of life and death. Our consciousness must go somewhere at least, whether it be a hamster or a wolf or something. I think that physically speaking, the stuff that makes you gets recycled. Like your body breaks down and gets eaten by bacteria and nematodes and worms and shit. And from that comes other organisms, like grass, I guess, or if you're really lucky, you grow into like a tree or like a fruit tree that gets eaten by people or something. I don't know. Like basically there is recycling going on. That's what I'm getting at. But I think the individual consciousness, like who you are as a person, is entirely contingent on how your brain works. So if your brain stops working, that's just it for you. A brain that's been eaten by nematodes and goddamn worms and bacteria and shit and fungi, I should say, is a brain that's no longer you. So I would say, physically speaking, yeah, but like as far as your consciousness actually going somewhere, no. You sound familiar? Do I sound familiar? It's the circle of life. I like that you're doing this. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm trying my best. Have a good rest of your night, Dragon Ball, and have a good rest of your night. I love Playboy Cardi. Have a good rest of your night. Appreciate y'all being here. Why aren't you streaming on Twitch? Because I'm having an issue with Streamlabs where even if I sign up for Streamlabs Ultra, it doesn't let me multi-stream. So I'm just waiting for the update or something, and so I can start paying them some money again and start restreaming on Twitch. But I used to stream on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Trovo, just all at the same time. Instagram. I was gonna start streaming on Facebook, but Streamlabs is having too much of an issue, so I'm just relegated to the one platform. Elise, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's huge. Let's get a W in the chat for Elise. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hell yeah, that's number 3. Take all my money, Hugh. Take it. I got you. Yeah, run it. You know what? Run it. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna point something at you. It's in my pocket. You might think it's a gun. It's probably not, but yeah, run the money anyway. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So sad you don't believe. I guess you will see when you pass away. I wouldn't say it's sad that I don't believe. I think it's only sad to people that want to control the religious beliefs of that I have. User 171827373833363. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. It is rage baiting. Oh, I can go and get you out of here. If this stream enrages you and if you're that emotionally unintelligent, you don't need to be here. So I'm gonna go get you on out. Mute. 24 hours. Skadoosh. Skadoosh, man. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Skadooshity whoosh, man. Bye. Take care. What's your opinion on latkes? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had a latke. I remember really liking it though. It's just I didn't have any sour cream or like applesauce with it or anything, but you know, it's fried potato. Who's not gonna like fried potato, right? We keep asking who made animals. They evolved from prior ancestors, I should say. You're an alien. Your god is Wugu Willino. W God, right? I don't like to tell people what they should or shouldn't worship. I try to be respectful, but it's really hard for me to not think of people that are hardcore believers as ignorant. I think there's a level of ignorance necessary to believe in a book with such like fantastic claims for sure, but I think it's our individual right to be ignorant. You know, it's like I could disagree with what somebody believes, and I could think that it takes a lack of knowledge for science and a lack of intellectual honesty, a lack of like it takes cognitive dissonance to believe in it. But that being said, I would still fight to the death for the right to believe these things if they want to. What's there to ask? If there's nothing to ask, Tiffany, then this isn't the stream for you. That's completely fine. Uh, Blast Hope. Wait, what's that? Wait, what? What do you mean? Do atheists believe in spirits or ghosts? I can't speak for other atheists, but me personally, I don't. I don't believe in like souls or spirits or ghosts or poltergeists or apparitions or anything supernatural, divine, paranormal, magical, spiritual, anything like that. Have you read Deuteronomy 22:29? Yeah, and it's a very disgusting verse. If anybody can read that and think that God's a good person afterward, I mean, you need help at that point. We'll put the ancestors of the organisms here, like where does the originals come from? Wait, you were here yesterday. Were you here yesterday? Yeah, you were here yesterday. I remember you. You were here for like an hour, and then I had to mute you for just being persistently dumb. But I don't think it's a who. I think it's natural processes. Bailey, I promise you, just stay around for like lack of evidence, or just to answer you directly. But I answer it so often, I can't. I'm not going to sit there and answer every single last person that asks it every time they ask it, because I get nothing else done. Because like Ramiro just asked it over on over like right as I was saying that. Yeah. So you did a fantastic job. I recently changed from Hindu to atheist too. You feel way better. Oh, hell yeah. Good to see you on this side. We're glad to have you. The question is, why did God make H stop believing in the first place? Wait, who? Like me? Him? Who's H? Am I missing something with the H? Who's H? I believe in H. I've almost had H before. Oh, Hugh. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, fantastic question. God knows everything, meaning he would have to know my email address. He knows my number. He knows my address. He knows everything about me. He knows exactly where to find me. Where you at? But yeah, I'm so used to, I'm not used to seeing H as my initial because like my real name starts with a D. If the cosmological constant were slightly different, the universe would have expanded too quickly or collapsed back on itself. Yeah, I'm not seeing how that leads to a God though. Are aliens real? I think aliens are real. I think that they, I don't think we'll ever get to them. I don't think they could ever get to us, but yeah, I think they're real. I think they're out there. I don't think they're like gray men or anything, but I think there's at the very least like maybe microorganisms that are out there existing. Skooma Steven, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. Just so you know, it's never too late to turn to Jesus. Oh, none for me, thanks, Beast Mode. I'll pass. I'll pass. Do you believe in a first cause or are there uncaused things? I think there are causes for everything within the universe, but I think the universe itself has always existed. Like the manifold that we exist within has always been a thing, materialistically speaking, and the stuff that makes up the universe has always been around. But, so because like at some point it's like, do we have it once we grant first cause? It's like, why not grant another one afterward? I just feel like the can has to stop somewhere. I believe in Klamadrov, who sent his son Gordon to die for our gleeps. Amen. Clawman. Do you think the Big Bang Theory could be true? I think the Big Bang Theory is true because they have overwhelming evidence that it is. Cosmic background microwave radiation showing that the universe is expanding. Redshift showing the rate of expansion. Yeah, it's they show their work. I can appreciate that. I really appreciate not just you, but most people in the chat for being able to have a productive conversation. Oh, thank you. I'm going to stop, but thank you. I think if there was an all-knowing God, he would not judge us, no hell in heaven. Yeah, or at the very least, all good. Or at the very least, somewhat fair, right? Like, I'm not an all-good person. I don't think, I'm not omnibenevolent. I think some people don't deserve to share the planet with the rest of us. I'll leave it at that, but That being said, I think it's definitely not fair for me to hide from everybody and then say, "Oh, just have faith that I exist," and so you could or burn forever for it. It's like that's stupid. You know, that's stupid. Makes you think the Big Bang was real. CBMR and Redshift make me think the Big Bang is real. There is proof there is objects in space older than the Big Bang. Prove that? Do you have any evidence for that? Because we say it now when we're saying there is proof that this thing I don't scientifically accept or haven't heard of. Let's get some proof behind it. How do you feel about non-duality? I'm not sure. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even sure what that is. I'm not the most familiar with philosophical terms. What microphone do you use? It sounds amazing. Oh, I appreciate that, ASMR Demon King. I use a not N, but I use a Shure SM7B, and my mixer is a Go XLR Mini TC Helicon. Yeah, it'll get you good. It'll get you good. A little expensive, but I promise you it's worth it. It's sturdy. It's the audio quality on it's obviously fantastic. Yeah, I love it. It's worth every penny for sure. Big Bang doesn't mean beginning. Yeah, Big Bang is just the point that the universe expanded, and the point where the laws of physics that we currently have, that we currently understand about the universe, start to make sense. How were you a Christian? I believed in Jesus, and I believed he was the Son of God, and that he died and rose again on the third day, and all that good stuff, right? You know? But yeah, somebody said there was proof of things older than a Big Bang. Who said that? Zero V. So now we have to wait for Zero V to provide their evidence. Science doesn't contradict the Bible. Indeed, it does. The Bible says that there was a talking snake. A Bible that's, a snake that said words that were in Hebrew. We know that snakes can't speak Hebrew, so therefore that's false. Says that man was created from dust. We know that's false. We know that says that women were created from bones. We know that's false. You guess the order of creation incorrect. Even if somebody were to say that every day that that's described in the first 6 days of creation was just a different era and not an actual literal day, then it still gets the order wrong. So that's incorrect. People don't rise from the dead. That's false. Virgins can't have babies. You need to be inseminated in some way. That's false. And I can imagine they didn't have IVF available back then. So that's definitely false. The flood definitely did not happen. So that's false. People can't survive for 3 days inside the belly of giant fish. That's false. What else? There's just so many things wrong with the claims of the Bible. So if you want to take a literalist standpoint of the Bible, you have to be a science denier. So, if so, that's at least an honest position. But to say that all the stuff in the Bible is true in the face of science, it's just objectively incorrect. I'm dying right now by one rule. Can't follow it. Take care. Skadoosh. Just bye, dude. I'm not even reading a comment, dude. Once somebody feels the need to spam something, you just buy it. Skadoosh. Skadoosh, man. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Just skadoosh, man. Anyway, Hampus Lehman, thank you for subscribing on YouTube, and thank you for following on TikTok. I appreciate it. The host just made so many claims. Yeah, I made some verifiable claims too, that virgins that are uninseminated can't have babies, that people can't rise from the dead, that alchemy is impossible, that we can't just like transmutate and multiply fish and loaves of bread. People can't walk on water unless it's ice, or unless there's like something beneath it that's solid for them to walk on. The flood didn't happen. We can verify that in like 15 different ways. These are not just claims. They're scientific facts. So, I don't know. Materialism is stupid. My Bronze Age text that has talking animals, a dragon, and a zombie god is the only explanation that makes sense. Yeah, apparently, I guess. Because, you're saying scientifically correct things, or you're just making claims. The alternative to these claims should be to believe in a book with very obvious bullshit in it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. All right, probably Sarah. You're dumb. I'm gonna get you on out of here. We're gonna go get you on. I'm gonna go ahead and take you on out. Christian, creative, Canadian. I mean W to two of those, but one of those, pretty big L. So I'm gonna go like take you on out. Skadoosh. At some point, if somebody wants to like toss away the claim that snakes can't talk and that people can't raise from the dead, you're just a little bit too brain dead for me. Sorry to tell you. Anyway, yeah, you're hopeless. Just hopeless. Just might as well be talking to an ant. Anyway, if you want to make a Christian mad, ask them if they believe in unicorns and dragons. You know the fun part? I don't think they'll make most Christians mad because a lot of them haven't even read the Bible enough to know which parts of the Bible claim a unicorn or a dragon. By the way, Book of Revelation. The unicorn, I forget, it's in the Old Testament, but dragon, Old Testament. I mean, Revelation. Prove atheism with absenteeism? What the fuck are you even asking? It's okay that I used to be ex-Christian, now I'm Hellenistic pagan. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's whatever convinces you. It's what convinces you. And I feel like if you have to believe in something, the Greek pantheon is probably better to believe in than a book telling you that you're worthy of hellfire and torture for simply existing. Did you ever consider Islam? No, and I still won't. Literally none of this is incompatible with Christianity. I mean, we're just false at that point. Proto Chicken, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. You are God manifesting as your form. No, I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude. Just a regular schmegular. Just a regular guy with bones and blood and a face and all that good stuff. So no, I'm not a God manifesting in human form. I appreciate the if that's a compliment though, I do sincerely appreciate it. 2 Peter 2:20. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh goodness, I'm so scared. Oh, it says oh no. Oh, I'm so scared now. Oh, he said 2 Peter 2:20. Oh, whatever will I do, I guess. How are we made without God? Your parents have sex. That's how you're made without God. Don't forget the whole Jesus part. Are you like a Jew or something, or Mormon or Muslim? I am an atheist. I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist. I hope that helps. Look for your head. I'm touching my head right now. What was the thing that made you say I'm not believing anymore? It wasn't one thing. It was a giant collection of things. It was looking at the arguments and the arguments not passing scrutiny. It was looking at the evidence of the claims made by the Bible, like the archaeological evidence that didn't check out. Looking at the historical evidence of the supernatural claims that didn't check out. Praying to God for some like faith or some sort of sign or something that would convince me. That didn't check out, so had no choice but to say, okay, I've been lied to. Who hurt me? Funny that you asked. You know what? No, never mind. I'm only gonna do that joke to men. I'm not going to make sure I don't get banned. What happens when you die? You just cease to exist. I think that's it for you. Do I believe in the universe? Do I believe it exists? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I believe the universe exists. Thank you for getting out of that religion. You were most welcome. Do I miss it? No, I don't miss it. I miss I would say I miss some of the people I met. I met some really awesome people in the church for sure. There was this one family. They had a son near my age, and they were awesome people. They invite me over and stuff. Make dinner, have our dinner, hang out with their son. It was a fun time. I like their apartment too. I might see if there's any vacancies in their building and move out, like when I move out of my house. But yeah, they were nice people for sure. But other than the people, no, I don't miss anything about it. Can you join the live as a guest if you have some questions? No, I'm not bringing up guests. Probably not for a while. I have 130 people watching on YouTube and I have 55 people watching on TikTok, and I feel like if people can't don't even have a chance of getting their question answered or, getting some attention, then, they scroll away. And I feel like that's not good for metrics, but most importantly that it isn't conducive to having a back and forth dialogue. Have you tried breaking into voice talent work? You could probably do well. I appreciate that. No, I haven't looked into it. I wouldn't even know the first thing about how to find work as a voice actor. Plus, I'm not a very good actor. I'd probably do good as a narrator, but that's about it. A man of his word that he would have guests on here battle him in his disposition. No, there's nothing about anything on the screen that says you know, ex-Christian, now an atheist, come up and do some weird debate bro performance. There's nothing on the screen that says that. It says ask me anything, which you can do from the comments. You can stream on Twitch with OBS Studio. I already used two different what's the word I'm looking for? Softwares. I use two different softwares to stream. I'm using Live Studio for TikTok and I'm using Streamlabs for YouTube. But so a third one, it would probably be a little bit too heavy on my system. Truth audiobooks all on YouTube. Alan Watts, Jesus' Religion, Hermetica of Tahuti, Papyrus of these are titles. That's cool. Did I get traded? What do you mean by that? If you were touched by the Holy Spirit, then you know there is a higher above God. That sounds kind of creepy, like touching people without their consent. Everyone has their way of living and dealing with their mortality. None wrong with most religions. I think I would fight for people's right to believe what they're convinced of for sure. But I think a world that is the most optimal for humans thriving and humans being able to best parse the world around us is one where we're not like tossing up our moralities and our convictions to books with talking animals in it. What's your specs? Let me try to remember. I have a damn it, a 3090, basically a 3090 capture card, not capture card, GPU. Intel i9 12900KS CPU, G-Skill Trident, DDR5, RAM. I forget how much. I think it's like 16 a stick, so 32 altogether. It's either 16 a stick or 32 a stick. I can't remember. ASRock Z690 Taichi motherboard. What else? That's the most important stuff. Motherboard, RAM, GPU, CPU. What was the best part of the change? I would say the best part of it was the sense of agency I started to feel. You know, it was going from I'm living for this invisible being that's, you know, supposed to be the arbiter of my life to I'm living for myself. That's a really freeing feeling. It's scary at first, but it was really freeing for sure. Sonic Fan thinks this is rage bait, so Sonic Fan gets moved to a place where he's not enraged. Good douche, man. Good douche. Good douche. Also, to another thinking of citing the Bible, there are Muslims here. Ask if they believe in the Bible being true, so it makes you think that atheists accept the claims within the Bible. Yeah, people believe all sorts of different things. So, you know what? Here's one thing that might make me come back to religion. If every denomination of, like every religion and every denomination of that religion came together and said, okay, this is the true one. This is, you know, it's nothing else except for this one particular religion. If that happened and there was a general agreement on it, I'd probably come back to the religion. Only something supernatural can cause people to put aside their ego so much that they start to hear each other out, you know? I respect your opinion, but all I know is that is your free will journey. May you find peace, respectively. Appreciate the kind words, I suppose. Or how do I pronounce this? Arik Faitzil, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Do you believe there might be a possibility of a God? Yeah, I think it's possible that there could be something with intent that caused the universe. I just have no reason to believe in such a thing. Also, don't spam. It's my one rule. You saw me mute people for spamming. Don't turn around and do it yourself. Good luck, grew up Mormon, lived my entire adult life atheist. I've realized today God is real. Oh, well, I'm happy for you, I guess. Glad you figured out what convinced you for sure. You face a lot of issues walking forward. Good luck. Well, appreciate the luck, I suppose. Yeah. How long were you a Christian? I was a Christian until I was 19 years old. So about as far back as I can remember until I was about 19. And let's see here, just to show y'all how often I get this question. I see, what made you strive away from Christianity? Being spammed a bunch of times. Why are you an atheist? And what caused you to turn away? So I left my faith after a year and a half of deconstruction, which is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. Yeah, thank you for following on TikTok. I appreciate you. May Jesus forgive blasphemy as the unforgivable sin. Oh, I'm fucked in. I already blasphemed. If you want, I can blaspheme again literally right now. Who wants some blasphemy in the chat? Let's get a show of hands. Haven't been in church for years, having a hard time going back, but when I had experienced it for myself, I know he's real. I guess certain things have made it hard for people, including myself. Yeah, what if it convinces you, man? I wouldn't want to take that from you. I'm glad you found what works for you for sure. Just a normal kid that lives on earth. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. The Bible was analyzed and then it's been rewritten by many different people many times. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Off-topic question of off religion, but what's your favorite type of bread? I would say in general sourdough. Like, yeah, a good nice sourdough. That's the good stuff right there. Yes, maybe not like the soft kind that you'll like. What's this one? It's Pepper Charm, of course. They make like this farmhouse sourdough. It's not very sour. It's not very fermented, and it's also pretty soft. That stuff is it's not bad, obviously, but you know it's not preferable. So a real nice, authentic, rustic, you know, good crumb structure sourdough. That is the good stuff. Love it. I don't believe in anything. I'm living the life I am given because you have no other choice. And it's all you can do at the end of the day. Did I research about other faiths? I've just for education's sake, sure, but not for the sake of conversion. Just to learn like what they believe, what are the claims being made. So when I either address these people, like engage with them, or otherwise, you know, like otherwise make claims about their religion, I can at least not talk out of my ass, because I hate trying to talk out of my ass. So in that sense, I've read the Quran. You know, I'm not a Muslim, so obviously I have some issues with it. I'm going to read the Book of Mormon next, again, just for education's sake, and then after that, probably the Gitas, or maybe the Satanic Bible afterward. I'll probably do something for myself instead of you know, working with everybody else's religion. Did you ever believe what John 3:16? Yeah, of course I did. I was a Christian. Austin 3:16. I prefer Austin 3:16 for sure. Surely there was an event that caused you a switch/rethink. Yeah, reading the Bible is what started it. I read the Bible. So the entire timeline was just to condense it to you know, as little as I can. It started with me reading the Bible, wanting to quote unquote do God right by actually reading the story for myself instead of letting pastors tell it to me. Because I was like, okay, it's my relationship with God, so it's up to me to figure out for myself, like, you know, like up to me to know the claims of the book. So I read it front to back, cover to cover, finished it, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, something's off. That's the God I worship. Like he's a little goofball in a lot of different parts of the Bible, right? A little silly little guy, you know, it's being a little goofy. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me look into apologetics to figure out why I think this way about God. And they had an answer for everything. And for me, it was kind of odd that they have an answer for literally everything, right? Like, why do you haven't, like, think about it for yourself, right? If I don't know if anybody here has a partner, like a husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, but think about somebody. Are they perfect? Are they literally perfect? No, of course not. So for me, a book that I knew was written and translated by imperfect humans shouldn't have and shouldn't be perfect. There shouldn't be an answer for literally everything. Right. So I was like, okay, that's a little bit odd. This wouldn't happen with something that's you know, within our reality. God's supposed to be the only perfect thing, not the book itself. So I was like, is this even real? So I looked at the evidence of God being real and of the claims of it being true, and surprise, surprise, no good evidence for it. The argument sucked. The archaeological evidence, it was just hoaxes. Sorry, the historical evidence wasn't very good. So I was like, okay, well, I've been lied to, so I have to go from there. Are you being dishonest, brother? At this point, I don't feel like you're asking that honestly. So if if by my story isn't one that you find satisfactory, if that means dishonest to you, I mean, that's your prerogative. But all I can say is I'm telling the truth. If you don't believe me, that's on you. The whole point of God is to test your faith. Why would there be a proof? Why wouldn't there be proof? Why would I dedicate myself to something that has no evidence of it being real? Like, hello? Like, just to make sure we're on the same page. If there's no evidence of something, why am I dedicating my entire being to it? Like, huh? Oh, it wants you to? Huh? All-powerful creator of the entire universe cares that much about blind believing? Nah, something's up. That's fishy. That's really, really fishy. Super duper outlandishly fishy. God designed prayer to energize, not drain us. When we make prayer a priority, we reap a whole host of benefits like comfort, guidance, and confidence. These are definitely words that exist. I don't know what to tell you. I'm afraid for you. A healthy fear of God is vital in this life. Don't be afraid for me. I'm not afraid for myself, so you got no reason to be afraid for me. Can someone get Ultimate Warrior out of here? What's Ultimate Warrior doing? Yeah, he's not doing anything. It's just preaching some random nonsense, right? Yo, mods, castrate this man. Trust in the Lord. I don't even think I have mods on YouTube. No, I don't. I just have Streamlabs, and he doesn't do anything. What am I paying Streamlabs for if the bot can't do anything? Let me stop. You're atheist too, WW. Hell yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you. Can you watch a castration? Hello? Ugh. You want to see, what the fuck? You want to see my freaky repent session again? Dude, what the fuck? Dude, no. Ugh. I don't do any freaky repent sessions, all right? I pray earnestly to God whenever I hear something convincing. I don't do freaky repent sessions. Ew, man. Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin's been debunked so many times, it's not even funny. Yes, you do. I sure as fuck don't, sir. What the fuck are we doing? Also, what's up? Do you live your life by evidence only? I mean, I try my best to, especially for something that I'm dedicating my whole entire being to. Yeah, I want to try to get evidence for it. Religion's a stupid thing in it. I think that the claims made by it are stupid, but I don't think anybody's necessarily stupid solely for believing in it, right? I think that they have individual reasons for it. I think that a lot of people just don't know any better, which is unfortunate, but que sera, sera, right? But I think that the claims made by most religions are pretty out there. I think they're pretty absurd. You hate that damn shroud. It haunts you. Yeah, it's I've had so many dishonest discussions about it. It's not even fucking funny at this point. Sorry, give me a quick second. I gotta fix this before I bug up. Skadoosh. And then skadoosh. And then skadoosh. And then there we go. Okay. Cool. There we go. We're good. Sorry about that. Give me a quick second. I'm fixing something. There we go. You should not insult and be an atheist. Everyone has freedom of religion and has their own beliefs. Oh, yeah. Well, if it's any consolation, I don't like the disrespect in and of itself isn't an issue. Okay, we got somebody crashing out. Let me just curb the crash out really quickly. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. You take 5 minutes. Maybe calm down, get some milk, get some water or something. Just get the fuck out of here. do you feel about pastafarians? Ramen. That's all I got to say to pastafarians. I had a really good bowl of spaghetti not that long ago. I still think about it sometimes. All right, let me get you on out of here. Take care. We don't do that spam shit here, dude. I'm sorry, but this isn't the stream for you. It's like, oh, if I just copy paste, do you believe in the Big Bang over and over? Then, I'll be able to get his attention from the, what is it, 165 plus 46, 211 people watching. Like, just get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Why on earth are Jesus and his upholsteries all sat on the same damn side of the table? Yeah, it's kind of odd how that works. Another thing with the shroud that kind of gets me is like, okay, Jesus was humiliated. That was kind of the whole point of the sacrifice, for it to be humiliating, to be violent, to be painful. Been humiliated. They give somebody who was humiliated and crucified, and which is supposed to be humiliating. They give him his own tomb anyway. Let's start there, right? But beside the point. Why is he covering up his dick in the Shroud of Turin? Why is he like, huh? We're giving him his own tomb and putting his hands where they cover up his penis. Are we fucking joking? Are we fucking joking? Why is he covering up his penis? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to see Jesus peeing out here. Let's not get it twisted, right? But if the whole point of his crucifixion was for it to be humiliating and public, why is he getting his own tomb when all the other crucified people in the Roman Empire were thrown into mass graves? But let's assume he did get his own tomb and was buried with a cloth. Why is he covering up his dick? You would unironically love to see Jesus dick. I'm good on that. I'm good on it. Why are you making this live? I'm not religious, but just wondering. For me, I do it to encourage critical thinking. I do it to teach, to learn, to entertain a little bit, just to make a space for people deconstructing. I do it for a few different reasons. Have some fun, be a little silly, little goofy guy. Yeah, there's a lot of different things I do it for. Jesus was a Reiki healer. That explains the 20-year gap from 12 to 32. Imagine. I'm currently in a Christian household and I'm not sure how to go about leaving a church. How to avoid making my parents feel like they failed me. I don't want to hurt the people I love. Oh man, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I would say, firstly, realize that it's your information to tell. It's on you to spread it or not spread it if you want to. It's completely, totally up to you. You're not obligated to tell them about it. I would say, think honestly about whether or not you think your shelter would be in question if they knew. Whether or not your relationships would be in question if they knew. And if your answer is no to both of those, I would say, maybe just sit them down, have a conversation, let them know how you feel. That's how I did it for sure. House of 6th grade. I haven't been in the 6th grade in, oh geez, how many years has it been since I got out of 6th grade? Fuck. Oh sheesh. How old was I in the 6th grade? I was 12 in 8th grade. So it means I had to have been 10 in the 6th grade. Does that make sense? That doesn't feel like it makes sense. Let's say 11, sure. I haven't been in the 6th grade in 18 years. People use God as a crutch for advertisement and money. That's not cool. I mean, yeah, right. Yeah. So it's kind of the whole pastoral business model, right? The fuck is a Turin shroud? It is the shroud, supposedly, that was the burial cloth of Jesus, but it's been debunked many times over as a forgery and an art piece. Let's see. Nothing in the Bible can be disproven. Actually, it's all historically accurate. Oh, okay, yeah. So we're just gonna, be brain dead. Ain't that something? What do you think of the Kalam? I disagree with the premise that the universe began to exist. There's no scientific reason for me to think such a thing. Yeah, Warrior can take a little time off. Yeah, it seems like you're just copy pasting whatever. Put user in timeout. I'm not gonna give you the whole stream off. You can take half an hour. Go take a shit. Go eat some food afterward to replenish your shit your shit reserves or whatever, and just get the fuck out for a minute. Skadoosh, man. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Just skadoosh. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Games, like video games. Frisbee's pretty fun if I have if a certain somebody were awake and with me and shit. Movies are, movies. Unironically, like sitting in a 7-Eleven parking lot eating pizza. That's pretty good stuff. Um, I did that like a few days ago. I was like drove up to 7-Eleven, got a slice of pizza and it's a brisk, and it's like just ate it in the parking lot. Went back home. It's fucking stupid, but anyway, um, making videos for this and then doing this. How do you spell skadoosh? The way I like to spell it is SKAD, as many O's as you want, and then SH for sure. So thoughts on the Big Bang? I acknowledge that the Big Bang happened because there is more than enough evidence that it did and technically is still happening. Thoughts on Hinduism? Nothing positive or negative. I just think it's, not true. You answer why, if you don't believe in Jesus anymore, you keep bringing him up in your life. I talk about religion because 60% of the people in the country I live in believe in this thing. And so I want to know, A, why they believe in it, and B, why they feel the need to use this religion. Like, well, some of them, but feel the need to use this person they believe in to disparage people that they don't like trans people or gay people. Did you ever consider yourself a creationist? Oh yeah, absolutely. Even when I was learning about science in like middle school, high school, high school science, my whole point was like, okay, the science is true, because I'm not going to question it. It's obviously evidence behind it, but I was like, okay, well, the Bible isn't literal. God's still the arbiter of these things. And, I just kind of whittled away at it. So you think the non-biblical perspectives are not true? You don't think the recordings of Roman officials that hated Jesus are just wrong? If you believe in history, you have to believe in Jesus. I'm not going to debate the existence of Jesus altogether. I couldn't care less about it. I care about God existing. Even if he did exist, was he the son of God? Let's get some more meat on those bones. But just, person existed, therefore believing the thing just doesn't track for me. How do you explain the very start of the universe? I think the universe itself, like the very manifold that's expanded and probably will contract eventually, has always existed. What about the fire that burns every annual day of the year of the crucifixion on the site of the resurrection? Muslims even proven that the flame doesn't burn the body or anything. What? Is it like a man-made flame, or is it just like a random flame that goes off every year? Because if so, it seems also kind of weird that that the calendar system that has been revised twice since Jesus' death is apparently, happens to be an annual thing that happens. All right, Jordan, you were here yesterday. Let me, I'm gonna hide you on the channel altogether. I'm done giving you attention. Skadoosh. Just bye. Just take care. Have a good rest of your life. You're not somebody I need in my life. Sorry if this question keeps getting annoying, but what made you stop believing? I looked for the evidence of God being real, looked for the evidence of the supernatural claims of the Bible being true, and none of it was convincing. Just none of it was good. So I left. Oh. Just a question: do you believe in a higher power or something that created us all? Let me just get because you're spamming too. Let me just try to ground everybody real quick. Do not spam, dude. It's my one rule. I wrote it in my rules on YouTube. I wrote it in the little blurb that you see when you first scroll into the stream on TikTok. It's my one rule. I get it. We want to have our questions answered. I'm trying my best, but there's 100 people watching on YouTube, 30 on TikTok. I'm trying my best. Just do not spam, man. Just please don't spam. I'll either get to it or, it'll be answered eventually. I promise you. Just please don't spam. Okay. Anyway. Just a question: do you believe in a higher power or that something created us? All respect to your decision from Orthodox Christian. No, I don't believe in a higher power personally. Also, Howling Productions, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Why do you look for evidence when God wants your life to be based off faith? I think it's kind of absurd for an all-powerful creator of the universe to arbitrarily decide, I want people to have blind faith that I exist. It makes little sense under a God that's all-knowing and that has a consequence for not believing in him, and also that that's supposedly all good or all just, but that simultaneously and But it makes a lot more sense if it's just all made up by people that want people to believe in a thing for whatever reason they want them to believe in it instead of, I hope you get what I'm getting at. You think the Bible is a real historical text or fake? I think the Bible is historical fiction. I think it's a fictional story that's based off of real people and, real places, but ultimately fictional. Let's see what we got here. Do I believe in science? I acknowledge science for sure. How do you explain the fact that over 300 Bible prophecies have come true? I'm going to need to see your source on that one. I'm really sorry if this is a bad way to ask this question, but if shelter and maintaining the relationships will be impossible, what then? I would say especially if shelter is going to be in question, I would really probably try to keep it a secret. It would suck. It would really suck, but I'd rather somebody be safe than live their truth on the streets, We've detected inactivity. Oh, wait, I got the puzzle piece. Wait. Oh, skadoosh. There we go. I just find the idea of a higher power so hard to believe. I want to believe in a higher power, but I really can't find any solid proof that there is one. Yeah, I wouldn't even say I want to. I don't desire to or don't desire not to. I just desire to believe in the truth, whatever the truth happens to be, From my understanding, life is a test to see who will stay loyal to the Lord. Yeah, I don't see why an all-knowing being has to test anybody. I think that makes no sense whatsoever. I think that's logically contradictory. Weren't you Christian yesterday? For about 5 minutes, yeah, for shits and giggles. Sorry, really quickly, just gotta get this. Can we please make sense? What the fuck? Okay, there we go. So do you think that a man who preached the Lord's word unto people and brought disciples and those disciples died for a lie? I don't even, there's no evidence of the apostolic martyrdom in the first place, so I don't even grant that. Brando, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Do you believe in luck or something happens for a reason? I don't believe in like a supernatural force of luck. I just think that anything that is logically possible, that is, it's logically possible and able to happen, if the conditions are met for it, it could happen or has a chance of happening. So I believe in the actualization of improbabilities. I don't believe in like miracles or good luck or anything like that personally. Terrence, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Let me get you out of here. I'm not even going to say y'all names to give y'all attention. I'm just going to get you out. It's good douche. It's good douche. Let me stop giving feet and trolls. I would trust you the same way I would trust God's word non-existent. I'm literally here though, so it's different standard. What if God is our creator but makes no sense for some reason that we don't know? Entirely possible, but I think that would say in a universe that's otherwise ruled by logic, or that otherwise meets the consistency of the logical framework, I think that would be an absurd thing to believe in. Can you bring me up? No, I'm not bringing people up this stream. I got too many people watching for me to hyperfixate on one guest. You're a former Christian too. You're pagan now and believed in paranormal and evolution, but your beliefs are cool too. Yeah, it's whatever convinces you. I'm glad. Any evidence to lean me more towards atheists? I would say the fact that a lot of the claims of the Bible, like the supernatural claims, have no evidence of their being true. Even scholars of the Bible will tell you that there's no contemporary evidence for the life, death, or resurrection of Jesus. They either grant it or because they believe in it and then convinced by it, but they'll outright tell you there's no first-hand accounts that these things definitely happened. It's just like people either decades or a century later writing about it. That's the best you can do. If you were truly Christian and love God, you'll still be a Christian. I don't care about your opinion on my form of belief. Sorry. The human eye is proof itself God is real. No, the human eye is proof that we have an organ that's able to, take in visual data. Everything is technically possible religion-wise. There's just no proof of them being or not being a God. Right. I'd say possible if logic itself makes no sense. If we could just say, oh, things can happen, but can happen out of logical order from what we know scientifically, and it happens that God's just high enough fact that he's a little trickster guy, sure, but I think that's just personally an absurd thing to believe in. Why twist that and make that something evil? Why twist what? Do I know who Andrea Dworkin is? No, I don't know who that is. It's a beautiful story, just some people don't understand it. A story of human sacrifice will never be a good story, sorry. Especially human sacrifice that was by an all-powerful being who could have just forgiven without the necessity for it. Anyway, Calf, thank you for following on TikTok. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna get you on out of here. That's just being intellectually dishonest. Skadoosh. Mass hallucinations did not happen, especially in the hundreds. So many did see Christ arise. If you're talking about the 500 people mentioned in 1 Corinthians 15:6 by Paul, that's the claim being made. There's no evidence of the 500. It's just one guy saying there were 500 people that saw it. A guy who wasn't even there, didn't even claim to be there. You know, if we want to say, okay, this is true because it was claimed, I could just say I flapped my arms and flew to Germany last week, and this is true because 10 million people saw me do it. We really deserved it, but guess what? He still died for us and rose again to bring us with him. I didn't deserve that shit. I didn't eat the fruit. And I think eating a fruit is kind of a dumb thing to cause a generational curse in the first place. But even if that was the case, like, I didn't do shit. I was born in 1996. If waiting after moving out to be on my own is better, is it still worth risking my relationship with my family to stop lying to them about my beliefs? I'd say until you get to a point where you can be on your own feet and stable. If you genuinely believe that your shelter would be in question, it's probably would be best if you were to like keep it a secret. Pretty sure even the Christians agree that you're not doing so good. Me? Oh, you're talking to Glenn in the chat? Oh, okay, never mind. Glenn's getting spit roasted over on YouTube. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Unfortunate. Let me get you out of here. Skadoosh. 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 Take care. Oh, you're like 12 too. Get the fuck out of here. Hell no. 1996, he was a youngin'. I don't feel like it. My body doesn't feel like it, but yeah, I'm still in my 20s for another, how long has it been since my birthday? Is this a leap? No, it's not a leap year. So 353 days until that left in my 20s. What made you? Okay, let me get you out of here for 5 minutes because we don't do that. 1 minute. Let me be a little bit less of a tool. But anyway, what made me stop believing? It's lack of evidence is what made me stop believing. But yeah, don't spam. Okay, bye. I'm a skadooshin' everybody. You take a minute off. Skadoosh, skadoosh, skadoosh. You're 48. It feels like you're 19 still, dude. I feel like I'm around your age, dude. I got scoliosis. I got pericarditis. I got some. I got some issues. I'll leave it at that. Happy belated birthday. I appreciate that layer cake. Thank you. Stop claiming you're a former Christian, can't come to the realization, then stop believing. Somebody thinks I care about their opinion about my former beliefs. Hate to see it. Happy late birthday. You just turned 31 yourself. Hey, L'chaim, dude. Happy belated birthday. What religion were you before? Former Christian. If you mean denomination, I was Baptist, and then for most of my life, and then apostolic for 2 years. You're so funny. Please don't turn straight. A little late for that. I just did the most straightest activities possible before, like not that long before starting the stream. I like listening to your dulcet while I eat my lunch. Oh, I don't know what a dulcet is, but oh, hell yeah. Appreciate it. It's a fact that he used to be a Christian, not a claim. Yeah, but if they don't want to believe it, that's fine. But thinking I'm A, care about their opinion, and B, I'm going to debate them about their opinion on my former beliefs. I mean, you just got the wrong stream. I don't fall for things that easily. Why'd you withdraw from Christianity? Lack of evidence is why I left Christianity. The only thing worse than losing your faith to some Christians I know is not forcing it onto other people. only thing worse than losing your faith to some Christians I know. Oh, it's not forcing it onto other people. Yeah. Yeah. All the Jehovah's Witnesses I get, all of the, it's like when I go downtown, the people I see like on fucking crates with megaphones and shit. It's we're in the death throes of religion. I'll leave it at that. What denomination were you? I was Baptist and then Apostolic. Baptist for 16 years, Apostolic for 2 years. Do you not believe in a higher power at all? No, I don't believe in a higher power personally. I don't think I don't believe that something with intent caused all of this. Not an atheist, but I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in Christianity, but I respect you, brother. Appreciate the respect. I respect you as well. Thank you. Is JOI going to get me on a watch list as a sketchy website or something? Libra, are you going to get Scarecrow on YouTube on a watch list? I guess. I don't know where that came from, but did you grow up in it or did you find it later in life? What was your final straw? I grew up in it for sure. My final straw for leaving, though, was realizing that there was no good reason for me to hold God to a different standard. She says yes. I think it might be screwed, Scarecrow. I think it might be over for you. Ghost Ninja, thank you for following on TikTok. I appreciate it. The Golden Sriracha Doritos are pure gas. I haven't had them yet. Oh, I tell you what I am excited about, though. I used to get these all the time when I was a kid, but the guacamole Doritos are coming back. What if we debated Omni-Man versus Goku Twerk Off? What the? Hello? Huh? Oh, what? Huh? Do you believe we evolved from apes? What the? I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on Omni-Man versus Goku Twerk. What the? Like, can we, like, no, we're not sending the stream to hell yet. But anyway, yeah. I mean, I'll do you one better. Humans are apes. We, taxonomically speaking, we're apes in the great ape family. Do you think maybe something is attacking you? Know that the devil can lead people astray and hurt you. No, I think that's a kind of a schizophrenic thing to believe. That there's like some invisible force that doesn't want you to believe in a thing that has no evidence for it. I think that's kind of absurd, personally. So you're for, oh, he's still trying to debate about shit that doesn't matter. Hate to see it. They don't condone religion. Should be the same with LGBT because it's a subjective belief. Being trans or not heterosexual isn't a belief. It's a sexual orientation. Well, sexual orientation and trans identity is a gender identity, and I hope this helps. Why do we have law if there's no God? Why try to live good? Why create law? Are you talking about like moral law, or like why do we have morality? Because we have empathy. And why do we have empathy? Because evolutionarily it's better for us to be able to feel somebody's pain or feel what would happen if we inflict pain on other people, because it would allow us to best get along with each other, cooperate, protect each other from predators, and establish societies that would allow us to, our offspring, to thrive. Same way any social species has empathetic traits. Unless your goal is to react to chat like a LARP. What the fuck are you talking about? Who would win, the gorilla or the humans? I think 100 people would win against the gorilla. I think that's just way too many people. Anyway, there's a very real possibility that other galaxies and aliens do exist. I do believe they do exist. I just don't think they'll ever get to us or we'll ever get to them. You're so well versed. Oh, I appreciate it. I'm personally, I think I am, but I can do better. Like, you can, there's always room for improvement, but I do appreciate it. I'm a Christian myself. My question is, should I keep believing? I get scared about death every day and I feel like I can't feel his presence. If you are convinced that it's true, then you believe that it's true and you should call yourself the thing. I'll leave it at that. Do you believe at the end of human life we come together as energy and form into a higher consciousness? No, I think consciousness is just an emergent property of a working brain. So no brains equals no consciousness at that point. It's insanely unlikely there's no organisms on any other planet. Even algae count as aliens. Yeah, exactly. I think it would be it's basically a logical certainty that there's some other form of life out there with, like, they try to put some sort of mathematical possibility onto abiogenesis on one planet, and so it makes sense to me that it would be allowed on another planet that's similar in our conditions too. Maud, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do I want to know how Satan was created? No, I think that would be completely, totally irrelevant information. There is no God. Agreed? Hell yeah. Thoughts on us being in a simulation of an alien world? I don't give any seriousness to the idea, because I feel like if an alien is able, or like aliens are able to simulate this entire reality we live in, then they wouldn't want us to know that it's a simulation. Like, the reasons they would make it a simulation is, you know, for some higher reasons we couldn't understand. So I just don't give any, I just don't take it seriously. Is it possible? Sure. But, you know, it's just, I don't take it seriously enough to really act like there's any meat on those bones personally. Do you think believing is just gaslighting yourself? I would say it can be past a certain point, but I feel like most people believe just because they are in a culture that reinforces it, and it's all they've been taught by the people that they trust in their life. So they're going to, you know, hold it to some higher standard. Did I start Tickfinity? I sure did. Yeah. Oh yeah, duh. That's how I'm able to hear my alerts. Have you ever read the book Mere Christianity? No, it's not for me either. If you can go back and speak to the historical figure Jesus, assuming the guy himself existed, divinity aside, what would you say or ask? What would I say to Jesus if I could? What would I say to Jesus if I could? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I probably won't answer it because I'd have a lot to ask to him, so I couldn't narrow it down to like one question. Case for Christ. I've seen the movie, but it's not convincing as a reason I should reconvert to Christianity. Like, okay, cool. One guy converted. That's good for him. We love that for him, but I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to do with it. Are you going to try another denomination as well, or are you planning to stay atheist? I'm planning to believe in what makes the most sense to me based on the evidence. I want to believe ultimately in the truest thing possible, so for me, the complete and total lack of evidence for any God makes me an atheist. And so until there is evidence presented, which I don't think there will be, I'm planning to remain an atheist. I say that Jesus proved that God exists. I mean, yeah, but the thing with me is, like, if I do grant Jesus its existence, which for the record, for conversation's sake, sure I do. Like, why not, right? I don't know if he was the cause behind the myths, like he was a person claiming these things and then got crucified for it, or if the story itself was just, if he was just the person that was narratively written into this role. I don't know if he was the liar or the writers were the liars, so it's impossible to say. So I wouldn't ask him to, you know, anything about God, because I'd have to figure it out first. Do I wear wigs? No, I don't wear wigs. I know where this is going, but I don't wear wigs. What makes people attach themselves to religions? I think it's a mixture of indoctrination by their parents and also societal expectations, cultural expectations, and a feeling of peace that comes with not having to be ignorant to things that we don't have answers to. That was a lot of word salad right there, but basically it feels good to have an answer for something. We don't like not knowing things, so it would make more sense to us to accept an answer, even if it's a wrong one, for things like where do we go after we die, if anywhere, where'd all this come from, things like that, versus just saying we don't know the answers to these things and leaving it like that. How do you argue against multiple artifacts and witnesses pointing to Jesus' existence? I couldn't care less about the existence of Jesus himself. I care about whether or not he was the Son of God. Just for conversation's sake, I grant Muhammad's existence too, but, you know, if somebody said, oh, you're not a Muslim, well, Muhammad existed. Like, no, it's like, sure, but now what? Okay, was he actually given the Quran by the angel Gabriel? No, of course not. Conversely, did Jesus exist? Sure, why not? Was he actually the Son of God, rose again after 3 days? No, of course not. Saitama gets slammed by no limbs Goku. I agree. I think Saitama and Goku aren't even in the same ballpark. If you could retroactively insert an 11th commandment, what would it be? Oh, I only get the one. Fuck, dude. If it's just one, thou shalt not. I don't know. I don't know. Just one. There's so many I could put here. Like, thou shalt not own people as property is pretty good. It would have to be something that would have to define the faith in a way that it wouldn't spread the way that it spread. So, probably thou shalt not colonize other lands, or thou shalt not spread this the law to other lands outside of this tribe, maybe something like that. In for lack of better words, for sure. I'm gonna give you some. I'm not even reading your comment. I'm just gonna give you a couple minutes off. 5 minutes. Yeah, you can take 5 minutes, but you heard me say don't spam. You chose to do it, so free will. Have a good one. How do you think the world was created if there's no God? I think the universe itself has always existed. Like the stuff that makes up the universe, the space and the time. I think time's an illusion, but beside the point, like the space and the stuff, like the matter and the energy, or what matter used to be, has always existed. It's expanded at the point of the Big Bang. Thou shalt not force people to believe. Yeah, exactly. But I feel like they might even misconstrue that, like, oh, we're not forcing them, we're just giving it to them, and we're also so happening to just be killing them and taking over their land, but we're not forcing them. Yeah, we're just presenting this, but also killing them just for their land, not to convert them. I feel like it would be something stupid like that. So it would be, just basically keep all this to yourself. You're the saved, the people that believe in it, you're the saved ones, you're the chosen ones, and so don't spread it around to other people. What's up, Mocha? Good to see you. Welcome back. It's been a while. How do you argue against someone who says God has always existed? I don't have an issue with somebody saying that God's eternal in and of himself, but my issue with that would be if they then try to turn around and say that the universe could not have always existed, but God can. It's just like, by that I would just say special pleading fallacy, Thou shalt not change your mind. Oh, there you go. Our lack of understanding of the nature of consciousness steers me away from atheism. I don't think that a God is necessary to explain consciousness. Obviously, as an atheist, I'm going to say that, right? But even beside that point, I don't think the fact that we couldn't technically prove the origin of consciousness, even despite all the evidence pointing to it being physical, I don't think that's a good enough reason to assert that a God is the one that did it, or to give more credence to the idea that a God was the one that caused it. Since you were a Christian, at what point, when did you doubt your faith and turn away? It was like a year and a half between what caused me to start deconstructing was reading the Bible, and what caused me to fully say I was an atheist was realizing that I was holding God to a different evidential standard than everything else that I say exists. Like if something else didn't exist, rewind for a second. If something else didn't answer back and it was invisible, you couldn't see it, you couldn't smell it, you couldn't touch it, you couldn't sense it physically at all, and it's outside of your space-time, outside of your spatial manifold, outside of time itself, doesn't have to abide by logic, doesn't answer back, I'd call that thing non-existent. It's what I do with literally everything else that meets that standard. So once I realized that God met that standard, and me still believing in him was to do so dishonestly. So that's why I left. No love for YouTube comments. I'm reading both of y'all, but over there y'all talking about who wins 100 Kanye's or 100 Anne Frank's twerk off. Like, what the, like, huh? Like, hello? Like, huh? I am reading the YouTube comments, but like, dude, like 100 Kanye's versus 100 Anne Frank's twerk off. Like, huh? Like, hello? Like, you want me to read that? What the fuck are we doing? World 3K Roblox Infinite, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. And Rodney Hester, thank you for following on TikTok. I appreciate y'all. If there's no God, why are you alive? if you do you want the physical answer or like the philosophical answer? Cascadian Maverick, Boone Williams, and Laney Bug. Thank y'all for the follows on TikTok. Welcome in. Good to see you. 100 mustache mans versus an A10 warthog is crazy. Why did you looked for evidence of God being real and found none of it convincing? Hard to argue with poop bread. Oh yeah, fucking poop bread. I was really floored when I got to that part of the Bible and realized like that was the part that Ezekiel bread was based off of. Because I used to love Ezekiel bread. Like my mom would buy it all the time from the store. And I'm really glad nowadays that they're not, smoking that over human shit. But the fact that God told him to do such a thing in the Bible, I'm like, wait, is this what it's based off of? Like, huh? And so I had a little moment of disgust for sure. How was the Earth created? Protoplanetary disks, like accretion disks, and gravity is what formed the planet. You're welcome, and thank you for sharing it, Karen. Much love, Rodney. Thank you. 100 Christians versus 1 atheist. I think the 100 Christians would take that. Christians are pretty notorious for their ability to slaughter people. So yeah. Gabriel, I don't know what you want me to do with that. How was the Earth created? I just answered that one. All right, yeah, let's just go ahead and let's just start separating people from the stream for the rest of the stream. At this point, if you hear me say don't spam, but if you're using your quote unquote free will to continue doing so, then you're asking to get taken out of the stream. So take care. Skadoosh. Okay, so if you didn't read the book, answer me why would you talk about it? I've read the book twice. I don't know where in this entire stream you heard me say I didn't read the book. Unless you're just trying to like see yourself type and hear me talk to you and just like, oh, let me just say something outright incorrect or outright against what he's claimed so far just for the sake of attention, in which case that's fucking pathetic. But no, I've never once said I didn't read the book. In fact, I'm telling you right now, I've read it twice. Atheists have better morals than Christians. That's been my experience for sure. Absolutely. Also, what's up, Tori? Good to see you again. Are you the Tori from last time? Probably. I don't know, but whatever. It's good. First time, second time, I don't know, but good to see you. Are Trump supporters really Satanists? I think anybody that opposes kids getting free lunch, I would have to call. I wouldn't even say they're a Satanist at that point. I'd say they're just an evil piece of shit. You didn't say that? Okay, let me go and get you on out of here. Just nuh-uh to me saying I've read the book twice. Just buy. Matter of fact, I don't need people like that in my life. Hi, user from channel altogether. Just buy. Take care. I've never said once throughout the stream that I didn't read the Bible, and even if you took that like misunderstood something I said, I'm like, okay, no, that was a misunderstanding. I've read it twice, and I say it as such, basically. If you're like, no, you didn't say that, okay, bye. I don't need you in my life. Bye. Take care. Have a good rest of your life. Would you rather watch a tree grow or I'm kind of thirsty right now. 1 second. A little thirsty. I'm a little parched. Gogeta versus Vegito. Vegito wins that one for sure. The Patara earrings are a better fusion than the fusion dance is. Well, like a more giveaway for a more powerful fusion. How are you doing, brother? I'm doing all right. How you doing, King Craney? Sereni? I don't know, but how you doing? Dude, huh? You know what? I'm not answering that funny game clips. Who'd win, Vegeta tweaking and jerking or Goku joking and smelling? What the? You know what? Y'all need help. Y'all need some fucking help. In my opinion, most atheist morals are for sake of wanting to help people and not for appeasement of their God. Yeah, absolutely. It's the morality I've seen from people who identify as atheists like myself have been a lot more on face and a lot more pure hearted than, cause I'm not going to go into specifics, but recently I've was talking to a Christian about why they do the things they do, and it was a really surprising sociopathic answer. I don't even want to talk about it, but yeah, I do agree. Atheists tend to have better morals than Christians. Would you like to know everything? No, that seems like it would be really, really awful. I would probably hate it. Says he doesn't believe God because of lack of evidence. Exactly. You might have to spam. I say you might have to spam, and it's up to me to put that on the screen. But yeah, that's all it comes down to. Have you seen $1 trillion? No, I haven't seen $1 trillion. I don't think anybody's seen $1 trillion except maybe the people in the government looking at the national debt. Stop! You're going the wrong what? Stop! You're going the wrong way. Oh no, I'm good. I'm going the right way for sure. How you know it exists? By way of pure logic. Dollars exist. There's at least 1 trillion of them in circulation. Therefore, $1 trillion exists. There we go. If evolution were true, why are we still not evolving? I mean, not still evolving. We do evolve. We're just not. We don't evolve as individual organisms. Our species evolves different traits, or our biology changes in accordance with not societal, biological pressures over the course of many years. It depends on our necessity to, what's the word I'm looking for here, the necessity to best fit our surroundings, and also how long it takes for the organism in question to reproduce. We observe evolution for bacteria for only over the course of a very short period of time, because they reproduce asexually really quickly. But things like humans that don't reach sexual maturity until their teens, and then that take 9 months to have kids, only have one at a time. We're going to evolve traits a lot slower. I'd argue that most atheists that live in the things, I'm guessing live in the West, had their morals shaped by the Christians around them. I would argue against that solely because if we got our morality solely from the Christians around us, then we still have a desire to colonize the world around us, because that's how Christianity spread. Are you feeling a little better? I'm feeling better, yeah. I'm not entirely there yet, but I'm not sneezing anymore, so. I thought I would have sneezed up a storm on yesterday's stream, but I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking, Heckler Coke. How you doing today? Our jaws have evolved over the last 100 years. Our bite used to meat, but now it generally doesn't. Yeah, I didn't know that, but thank you for the I won't say backing me up on it, but thank you for the tidbit for sure. Mr. Unchained Skeptic, they increased the price of the Xbox Series X. What do you think about this? Blasphemy! What made you lose faith, bro? I looked for evidence of God being real and found none of it convincing. That's why I lost faith. How you doing, Kerrigan? Good to see you. How's your day going? You're constipated right now. PEG 3350 is your friend for sure. The jaws are due to food. Used to be lots of meat and tough food. Now more mushy. Yeah, exactly. Kerrigan, thank you for the follow. If you want proof of evolution currently, look at people with more melanin in warmer regions. Yeah, exactly. Right, we got, just looking people in the, Asian subcontinent. Go further north, toward China, Siberia. You're going to see people with these Asian features whose skins are lighter, because there's, not as close to the equator. Go more southeast, they get a little darker. Look to the Melanesians, the Austronesians, the Polynesians and stuff. They're getting a little darker than the East Asians and the Siberians. So, pretty obvious they've evolved to best fit their surroundings for sure. 100 twerking gorillas versus, 1,000 twerking gorillas versus 1,000 flying Kanyes. What the fuck am I reading, dude? What in Sam Hill am I reading, dude? That's adaptation, same gene still. I mean, yeah, still evolving traits though, right? Evolving to best fit your surroundings, adapting, evolving, same shit, different toilet. What made you leave? The lack of evidence for Christianity's claims being true, in particular, the existence of the God and the supernatural claims of the Bible being true is what made me leave. Why atheism over agnostic? They answer two different questions. I'm agnostic and atheist. I don't know if it's even possible for us to know whether or not there's a God that doesn't have to play by the laws of our reality, but I just don't believe that such a thing exists. I think that's there's not enough meat on the bones for me to chew on. It's also the Shroud of Turin. The cloth was given to Jesus to wipe his face. That's not even what the Shroud of Turin's even claimed to be, but it's claimed to be the burial cloth of Jesus, like what they wrapped his body in before he was buried or put in his tomb. But even beside that point, the Shroud of Turin's been debunked so many times. So many times. So many times. Red ochre pigment in a gelatin medium used to paint it, or used, found within it. That's not blood. That's paint. The pattern is inconsistent with the time period. Like the weaving pattern is a herringbone pattern when it should have been like a plain weave is what you should have expected. The proportions are wrong. There's no reason for Jesus to be covering up his genitals. The features on it are Eurocentric when Jesus wouldn't have been Eurocentric. So, the Eurocentric Jesus started to more so become more popular around the Renaissance era, which is obviously after the resurrection account, supposedly. What else? The radiocarbon dating, that debunks it. It's a good art piece, but it's definitely not the burial cloth of Jesus. The biggest smoking gun is the fact that even the Pope at the time said it wasn't the burial cloth. Gas, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. And Poot, thank you for the follow. Does Maria happen to like blonde bisexual tops by any chance? Tops? Probably, yeah. I don't know what her type is with women. I know her ex-girlfriend her hair was black, so I don't think you're cooked, but do with this what you will. You have children? No, I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids. Dawkins is not the Pope of atheism. Him being cultural Christian does not mean anything about atheism. Yeah, I don't know why people keep spreading that. What was the main piece of evidence that convinced you God isn't real? The logical inconsistencies with God's nature, right? Like things like omniscience and omnipotence are only possible under some, like, if logic makes no sense. Like it gives way for logical contradictions. For somebody to be all-knowing, they would have to, it gets into set theory. It gets a little out there, so I'm not going to go over it, but yeah, that was probably the biggest thing that made me think, this guy can't possibly be real. You'll buy box dye, no worries. You might still be cooked, because I think she has a boyfriend right now, but you can't be too sure, right? Once you give up trying to know everything and teach others, is very liberating. Oh, indeed it is, absolutely. I feel like I forgot something, but I don't know. You're cooking some shrimp right now, bro. You ain't on the same wavelength as me. I can't eat shrimp, so I'm glad I'm not on your same wavelength. There is a higher being. We are in a simulation, or aliens put us here. Which one are you picking? Neither. It seems like a false dichotomy. You don't have to come to TikTok live to tell us you're an atheist. Keep that to yourself. You don't have to come to my chat to tell me that you don't like my stream. Keep that to yourself. There's document history of him being alive in the flesh. How couldn't you believe, though? Person existing does nothing for whether or not God is real. Sorry. If you want to say like just the figure existed, therefore the supernatural claims made about the figure are true, then you might as well be a Muslim too, since, I mean, they're newer than Christianity, so. Yeah, because why is an omnipotent being worried about some overdeveloped monkeys worshiping him? Yeah, it seems kind of odd to me. You know what's another odd thing to me? Imagine like whole universe, trillions and trillions of galaxies, each galaxy holding trillions and billions of stars, each one possibly with planets surrounding them. You telling me God cares about this one and created this entire universe just for us? Are we fucking joking? Like, surely we can't be joking, right? Like, come on, we can't be joking. Just, I don't know. Anyway, it's beside the point. This is not the funny game I remember, bro. We talking to me? Xbox or PlayStation? PlayStation for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't really like the Xbox originals too much. 17 septillion estimated planets for the record. Oh, jeez. That is a lot of fucking planets. Hey, bestie. What's up, Dina? Good to see you. You fuck with Forza? I'm not really into racing games. I'm more so into just like shooters and puzzles. Opinion on abortion? I think everybody should have the right to abortion. Yeah. I think it's not up to me, who doesn't have a uterus, to tell people what they should or shouldn't do with their bodies. You fuck with Roblox, bro? I probably like Roblox if I ever got time to play it, but I don't know. How can you be atheist at a time like this? Not believing in God? It's by not believing in God. You playing Blueprints, amazing puzzle game? No, I haven't. I am looking for some newer puzzle games though, because Blueprints. How much is it? $30. What is it about? Steam. I'm gonna put that on my wish list on Steam. Thanks for the recommendation. Appreciate it, Eldon. All right. Free on PlayStation Network. Oh, I'm on PC. I'm kind of cooked. I haven't had a console in like 10 years. What do you believe in? I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine or paranormal or magical or spiritual or anything like that, personally. Have a good rest of your night, Kate. Thanks for being here. N64 or Sega Genesis. I kind of prefer the Nintendo 64. I think there was this one X-Men game on it that was really my shit. Oh wait, no, I think that was the Sega Genesis I'm thinking about. I had a few consoles growing up. I can't remember, but yeah, it was this one X-Men game. I played the fuck out of it for sure. Also, thank you for the follow, Cade. Where in religious doctrine does it say that this is the only planet with life that God cares about? It says in Genesis that God created the universe and that he also created this planet. Doesn't mention any other planet. He doesn't mention a universe with other stars and planets in it. It mentions this one and him placing humans here. So I hope this helps. Please answer if you like Titanfall. I haven't played Titanfall, so I wouldn't know. Sorry. 100 men or one gorilla? One gorilla. I mean, sorry, 100 men. Sorry. I'm thinking about which one would, thought you meant which one would lose, but. How'd you go from Christian to atheist? Can I know your story? So for me, I read the Bible, thought differently about God after finishing the Bible, looked at apologetics. They were given like contradictory answers, but also they always had an answer, which I thought was a little odd because there's supposed to be nothing perfect but God. So I was assuming like, okay, the Bible's not going to be perfect, so there shouldn't be an answer for literally everything, right? But they claimed that it was, so I was like, that's a little odd. Is this even real? So I looked at the archaeological evidence, hoaxes. I looked at the logical arguments, either built off of a fallacy or a baseless assumption. Looked at the historical evidence, nothing for the supernatural accounts that was contemporary or firsthand. So I was like, okay, well, I've been lied to. This is a big, giant, dumb lie, so I left. Because the Bible is for earthlings, of course, it's going to prioritize them and speak of things that relates to them. Oh shit! So there's like an alien Bible out there somewhere. Gleeple Glorp just reading Genesis 1:1 or Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Making her little alien sounds and shit. The Zort Bible, right? What's your current religion? I don't have a religion. I'm an atheist. Don't let me misgender you. No, he, him. I'm a male. I'm a man. I'm a he. I don't get into us. He was a piece of shit, but that was so funny. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna pretend it wasn't. Atheism isn't a religion. No, it's a lack of religion. It's a lack of belief in God or gods. Atheism is just as much a religion as an empty plate is a meal, or like off is a TV channel, or lack of sex is a sex position, 100 tops versus Hugh as a bottom? What? Ew. 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 Stop. Ew. Gotta give me that Jupiter Bible. Yeah, me too. Gotta give me a copy of it. Those fucking methane breathing motherfuckers on Jupiter surviving the worst storm in a solar system. Yeah, they gotta get my hands on her Bible. Oh, yeah, I guess. Oh my gosh. Were you raised Christian? Like I can't. I'm sorry if I continue laughing. That's my apologies, but that's just too fucking funny. Were you raised Christian like from child? Yeah, I was raised Christian. I was a Christian from about as far back as I can remember until I was like, it's like 19 somewhere in there. 100 men versus one skeptic. Stop it. Stop. Your voice is literal ASMR material. Oh, thanks, Canadian Ferrets. Oh, appreciate it. It's plain to see he only tells people about what they need to know. They don't need to know about other creation light years away. And it's kind of odd to me that if like here's another thing that another reason I found the Bible kind of odd, because from the outside in, it makes a lot of sense to me that the Bible was written by people who didn't have a full scientific understanding of the world around them, and who was just doing the best with the information they had to try to paint a picture of a God that created everything, right? If I'm God and I know everything about the entire universe because I created the entire universe, I'm telling these motherfuckers everything. I'm like, I'm putting everything in the Bible. Oh, there's germs. You got to wash your hands with disinfectant. And if you don't, they might get you sick. You have an immune system. It fights off germs. Goddamn fucking, the earth isn't flat. It revolves around the sun. It's there are other planets on the solar system. There's a whole galaxy. Here's what galaxies are. Don't enslave people is a pretty obvious one. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit that I would put in the Bible if I wanted people to believe in me. If the Bible has scientific miracles in it that could not have possibly been known by anybody with the information they had available, that would have been overwhelmingly convincing. Overwhelmingly. If God put in the Bible, the earth is round like a sphere, oblate, spheroid, whatever, and it revolves around the star, and that's a star in the sky just like the stars you see at night, I would have been convinced. They knew about that shit like thousands of years ago before we had any way to measure it. Yeah, God wrote that. Of course he did. He created the universe. Duh, right? But the fact that they said, oh, the earth is flat and a firmament over it, and come on, dude. Do I regret this decision? Oh, I got suspended on TikTok. Let's submit the appeal. Yeah, they were just reporting the hell out of my stream. I don't care. It's not a scientific book. Why would I need those things? I'm saying if God wanted it to be a book that people believe in for like with their whole heart, he should have put some things in it that could not have been known. Could not have been known without a scientific understanding. So, I don't know. You mean like the Red Sea land bridge that surfaces randomly in rare environmental conditions? Am I thinking? Oh, you talking about the Red Sea crossing? No. Hardy har. The moon's literally turning red without natural conditions. The moon isn't turning red because it's turning into blood, dude. The moon's not turning into blood. It's iron oxide, basically. Here from TikTok, I see. Yeah, got reported. We'll see if it gets goes through. You found the source in an article Google recommended you. Forgot the URL though. Oh, I can't do much with that. Bible doesn't say Earth is flat. Oh boy, we got liars in the chat. 1 second. Let's deal with this. We got liars in the chat. Hold your horses. We got liars in the chat. 1 second. John 38:14. The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment, clearly flat. And this is a New Testament too, so unfortunate. Hate to see it. We still love you. Oh, I appreciate it. Your AI. Yep. Yep. From what I know, the consensus theory on evolution does not propose a specific origin to life. Evolution and abiogenesis are two entirely separate fields of study. Let me get you out of here. I don't want you to be enraged. You know, if you're enraged, probably not the stream for you. Skadoosh. W for not wanting a funeral, waste of money. Oh yeah, funerals are just waste of money. Weird ritual. Just if I'm going in the ground anyway, or thrown in an oven anyway, like why do we have to stuff me full of chemicals and put weird spiky contacts under my eyes and shit, and just leave me alone. How's your family react to you choosing atheism? My mom didn't take it too well when I left Christianity. The rest of my family, that the ones that I know found out, didn't care about it. How is that flat? That's a reach. Under a seal, clay under a seal, is talking about the wax seals of letters, which are flat. If we're just gonna lie, then this isn't the stream for you. But if I were you, I'd either just pivot off of the point, or maybe like you don't have to concede, but just lying about it, like, oh, it doesn't actually mean the thing. Oh, it's a reach to say that the words mean what they mean. Like, matter of fact, I'm not in the mood tonight. No, I'm not in the mood. Spy. I'm not in the mood. Just bye. Just take care. Have a good rest of your night. No. We're not doing just outright nuh-uh to the words I just read to you. No. Just bye. Just take care. The Roman guards put a crown of thorns that's literally pierced Jesus' head to the skull. That's the claim for sure. Why don't you believe in him anymore? I just don't see any evidence of God being real. That's why I don't believe in him. Do you have more nihilistic views now? I'd say yeah, but I'm existentialist. I wouldn't say I'm a full nihilist. I think that despite there being no objective purpose for anything, that doesn't deprive you as the agent of being able to form your own purpose for your own life, Not gonna lie, if I am to die, I want my decomposing body to be left aura farming in an oversized hardwood chair. What the aura farming is fucking crazy, dude. How do you explain the historicity of the resurrection? Easily. There's no contemporary historical accounts of the resurrection. It's zero, zip, nada. If you want to say the Gospels, A, they're their claim, but B, they were written by anonymous authors decades after the supposed resurrection. Yeah, that's what I say to that. When I die, I want my body to be taxidermied into a funny pose. No, I just burn my ass, dude. Just put me in an oven, sprinkle my ashes in like some tahini or something. I don't know. Are you only looking for scientific evidence of God? Would personal experience count? Like a personal experience that I have? Yeah, I might accept my own personal experience. Sure. There's other natural explanations for even me having one, but sure, I would be gracious and accept it. But would I accept somebody else's? Absolutely not. I'd have no reason to think they're not lying. I'd have no reason to think that God is the reason for their experience, even if they were telling the truth. So yeah. Let me get you out of here. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Take care. No one wants a fursona? No, I don't want a fucking fursona, dude. What are we doing? Yes, go to sleep forever at that point. You're agnostic. I'm agnostic too, but I'm agnostic atheist. I don't know if there is a God, but I think it's impossible. I think it's impossible to know such a thing. But if I had to take a guess, I'd say there is none. No reason for me to believe in one. All right, really quickly, let me check if my appeal went through. Probably viewed your appeal and restored your live access. Let's fucking go. I'm about to go back live on TikTok to piss him off real quick. Let me just go back live and piss him off really quickly. 1 second. All right, give me a minute. Just to piss him off. Yep. Just to show him, because that's why I watch my words. That's why I watch my words as best as I possibly can. just for shit like this. All right. Anyway, my persona's a cat boy. Definitely not. Let me just put this up on the screen really quickly. Do my little. Oh shit! I got 403 diamonds on that one. I made $2. Two entire dollars. Two whole dollars. Eternal King Manwan Tagalog recaps calling me emotional, but he's so emotional that he had to send it multiple times to get my attention. Hate to fucking see it, dude. I'm the emotional one, but he's like, "Oh, you didn't pay attention? Oh, yeah, it's because you're emotional." I didn't respond. Oh, because you're emotional. Like, okay, dude. Yeah, projection at its finest. Let me restart on TikTok really quickly. Check my network. Oh shoot, 1 second. Let me end the process on Task Manager. Just here to say I respect your choice, but I'll also be glad if you convert back to Christianity. You're going to be stuck with respect because I'm not going to convert back anytime soon. But I appreciate the respect, if nothing else, right? Sorry, really quickly. I'm restarting my stream on TikTok, so I gotta do that really quickly. TikTok Live Studio. Oh, there you are. Ugh. Kill process and skadoosh. There we go. Just to be like, hey, I'm still here. Report all you want. I didn't do anything, so get fucked. Yep, 100% AI. Sure thing. Let's do this real quick. Oh, wait, what the hell? Okay, there we go. We're good. All right, really quickly, it is. All right, I'm live, 3:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, May 6th, 2025. Unchained Skeptic, original stream, not a restream. I am the original. So please don't suspend me for unoriginal content. I am not the copy. All right, let's get my chat back up really quickly. TikTok live connection on Tickfinity. There we go. There we go. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're golden. We're good. And we are golden. Libra, I'm not even going to respond to that at this point. That's not even going to happen. Anyway, Snow, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Can I beat 100 twerking Thanoses? What the fuck kind of question is that, man? Of course I would. Atheists need to realize that religion is inevitable and just give up. LMAO, it ain't going away. I think the inevitability of people believing in religion doesn't mean I'm required to believe in it. So LMAO, LMAO, LOL, skull emoji. Just so cry about it. What sect of Christianity were you in? I was a Baptist for 16 years, and then I was in the Apostolic Church for 2 years. But like in the Apostolic, the Protestant denomination apostolics, not the, Orthodoxes or whatever. Here's a quick question to disprove any accusation of you being AI. Tell me what's 9 plus 10? 21. I used to be an atheist. Glad you found what works for you. Why did the stream go away for a short bit? Oh, I got mass reported, but I didn't do shit, so TikTok, approved the appeal. Get a W for TikTok for at least being fair. They're not always fair, but they were fair with that approval. Spirituality is driven by personal experiences, typically that no one else prove or disprove. So like you said, it's up to each person's agency. Religion's another beast entirely, pun intended. Yeah, fair is fair. I'd say even somebody using their like somebody's sense of spirituality being tossed up to a religion that's already established. I mean, that's their prerogative. I don't want to take that from them, but overall, yeah, I'd say you're right. Currently agnostic, not sure how to feel about it. There's nothing wrong with being agnostic, dude. I think for me, I'm going to die as an agnostic. I don't think I'll ever know for certain whether or not a God exists. I can just say with as much certainty as I can for anything else that certain gods are definitely not real. I've never read the Bible, but what is up with Christians judging people? Isn't that God's job? It is God's job, but a lot of people, here's kind of like not an instant defeater, but a case against Christianity's truth is that a lot of people just don't get shit. I'm sorry. I'm distracted right now. I'm trying to fix this. A lot of people can't resist. Is what I'm getting at. A lot of people just feel the need to be self-righteous, be better than the next person, and they don't allow their God or what their God thinks to get in the way of that. Theists are baby snowflakes. Yeah, I would agree. Getting a stream taken down just because you don't like what I have to say is that's weak shit. That's gonna be weak shit. What made you leave? I looked for evidence of God being real, and none of it was convincing. That's why I left. If there were convincing evidence, I would have stayed. Since there wasn't, I had to leave. Do I know the Struts? No, I don't know the Struts personally. Smoke some weed and go play Pokemon? I don't smoke that bullshit. Ew. Smoke? Ugh. Dude, I'm not smoking that. The hell? I like myself. I like my lungs. I'm just kidding. I'm high right now. No, I don't like Pokemon though. I'm not super huge into Pokemon. More so like a Yu-Gi-Oh type of guy. When I was into TCGs for sure. Bro, you seem chill. Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I try my best. I've never really been Christian. I believe religion is something one turns to when they're in need. Despite having been in shitty situations, I've never needed God. I can't really stand some Christians though. I'd say I definitely needed the idea of God. I've been through some shit too. I'd say in that we differ, but I absolutely agree. A lot of it's just it's hardship is a big part of it. Wanting to feel like you're part of something bigger is a big part of it. Wanting answers to unanswerable questions is a big part of it. So yeah, I'd say all of this is part of the reasons. Oh, obviously indoctrination. All of these lend to why people have religious beliefs nowadays. All right, get you on out of here, skadoosh. Freddie Mercury is my God. I'd believe it. If you told me that motherfucker was God, being able to belt out like he did on Bohemian Rhapsody, convincing argument at that point. We have to suspend disbelief and accept unproven and unprovable statements. You have a disorder. I think it's a little mean to say disorder, but yeah, I'd say there's something wrong there. I would agree 100%. I think it's in human nature though to accept these things and accept what they already know and try to cling on to what's familiar. So I wouldn't necessarily say disorder because I'd say most humans are disordered in that regard. Goku's a total badass. Goku's is yeah. I'm more so into like anybody seen Berserk? I feel like Berserk was a really good anime. I recently seen Berserk. Damn fine anime. But like, what is the thing that you want to be an atheist? Like demons and other thing. What? Huh? Notification? What are you asking? You're Satanist and paganist, but low key love atheists. Oh, shucks, we love you too. I don't know you, but yeah, I got full respect for Satanists and pagans for sure. How did the universe start? I think the universe itself has always existed. Restricted for some audiences. We're getting reported again. Oof. Let's end the live. Let's do that. Let's restart. Sorry for the restarts. Sorry for the restarts. But yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, absolutely I do. Heckler Coke, 100%. Absolutely I do. Can TikTok see this chat? They sure can. TikTok can see YouTube, and YouTube can see TikTok. So to try to not seem like I'm just talking schizophrenically at the wall when I'm talking to somebody in another chat, right? The universe started with a bang, no God. The universe went through expansion for sure, but I don't think the Big Bang was the start of the universe, personally. If churches gave donations to followers, I would convert. I wouldn't convert, but I'd see it. I'd consider it a nice gesture, though, for sure. Because an explosion created the world and not something intentional. I mean, yeah, if you don't know what the Big Bang is at that point, then I can't help you. Let me get you out of here. You get no attention from me, skadoosh. Here's my belief: work/duty is God. Just do your work properly, and you will achieve success. Based? Wait, based? Based? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Based? But yo, yeah, based. Do you believe that Jesus is real, but he didn't perform miracles? For conversation's sake, yeah, I grant Jesus' existence. I just don't think he was a son of God or rose from the dead or anything like that. You're a former atheist, now a Christian. Welcome in, Ramiro's. Glad you found what works for you, for sure. Something I found very comforting about Judaism is how much of it revolves around critical thinking and questioning things. Yeah, that's been a common theme with a lot of the Jewish people I've met doing this. Is a lot of them don't believe in hell. A lot of them wouldn't even want to convert me if they could. There's some that claim that they would. Like there were some mean ones, but a lot lower of a percentage than with Christians and Muslims I've met doing this. Do you believe everything is alive? No, I don't think everything's alive. I think the things that can't self-replicate are not alive by definition. You're very much fine with dying, and that's it. Never needed something after that. Never needed answers to stuff if I can't understand the answers. Hey, fair take. When I was first deconstructing, I was not very good with death, but I'd say now I'm decent with the idea of not existing anymore. I'm just not decent with the idea of like dying painfully. What's an atheist? An atheist is somebody that doesn't believe in a god or gods. That's all an atheist is. Answers one question only. If you overthink it, you figure it out. I don't try to turn people to atheism. It's not fun, but at least I can ground myself in reality rather than fantasy. Yeah, get a W for that. I think once we get past the point of trying to rationalize talking snakes and talking animals, then I think we'll be on our way. I'm pretty respectful, but Lone Symphony Bunny has 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place. Damn, what did you do, Lone Symphony? Oh, wait, no, you're that one guy. Ever had a mystical experience? I'd say I had what I thought was a mystical experience, a few of them for sure, but looking back, it was just comes down to euphoria, things like that. Well, so if you do not believe in God, what do you think created you? My parents had sex and created me. Many are called, a few ate chosen. Why are the few eating the chosen? What the hell? What the fuck, man? The few are eating the chosen? Ew. I think dying probably hurts a lot less than people think it will. Yeah, the act of dying itself won't feel like anything. It's because the very brain that you're using to feel things is dying. So, that's kind of it for you. But if there's like cancer or something, or a really painful like accident or something like that, or some terminal illness, that's going to hurt a lot. And I don't want to go through that. Used to be a Christian, now atheist too. Hey, welcome to reality, dude. Good to see you. Glad to have you over here. What was the turning point for you? What started me deconstructing was reading the Bible and thinking about God differently afterward. And what ended my deconstruction was realizing that I was holding God to a different existential standard than everything else in my life. Just be your own universe, cultivate it, blend it with others. At some point, it's all going to end, and it's your job to make it best while you can. W existentialist, let's go. Shamunian is hosting a live where if you want to join and refute the Holy Trinity, he lets you on. Oh no, I'm not after debating people, dude. I don't feel like the people in the space that debate for religion are the most intellectually honest. A lot, because you got to think a lot of people are building their entire brand, their whole brand whatsoever, like the whole thing around preaching to the choir. And I guess you could say I'm doing the same thing, but if somebody were to present solid evidence that stood up to scrutiny, like I think it would be metrically better for me to be honest about it and say I'm convinced now I'm a Christian, because like people could look at my content as an atheist and be like, oh, he used to not believe and now he believes in a thing, amen, hallelujah, and whatever. And I think that'll be pretty good for the brand. But people that start from that point, they're not going to be honest with you. So no, I'm not going to debate somebody about the Holy Trinity, especially if it's especially when it's like other non-Trinitarian Christians that could do a better job than I could with it. Do you believe in nothing? Nothing supernatural or divine or paranormal, magical, religious, spiritual, anything like that. What are your thoughts on Israel and their influence in U.S. politics? Without going too much into it and getting that little tag on my TikTok, don't have positive opinion about it. I'll leave it at that. Were you Catholic or Orthodox? I was Protestant. I was Baptist for 16 years and Apostolic for 2 years. Do you think Jesus is hot? If he's described as described in the Bible, he wouldn't be my type. It's great that you've read the Bible, but didn't read it with help of the Holy Spirit. I don't think that you require like some sort of extra, like some invisible woo-woo force to read words and for what the words mean and derive some meaning from it that ultimately ends with you accepting the book as true and good. You know, the fact that people want to claim I didn't read it with the Holy Spirit, like let's say hypothetically, right? Old Testament, 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. People never push back about me saying, okay, that means God doesn't condone murder. They're like, oh yeah, of course, amen, yeah, you got it right. But let it be Leviticus 25:44-46. Oh, God's very clearly condoning slavery here. Oh, you need the Holy Spirit to understand it. No, all like for some odd reason, y'all want to claim that every negative conclusion about the Bible, like evidentially negative or morally negative, is not of the Holy Spirit, but all the positive stuff doesn't require any sort of Holy Spirit intervention. I think that's wildly dishonest. End of my rant. Sorry for the vent, but Mr. Blanks 87, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Why be an atheist or Christian or any religion / lack of belief system? What do you mean, why be an atheist, man? Or why be a Christian? Atheist, Christian, literally any religious claim about your identity is an answer of what are you convinced of. If you're not convinced of any gods, you are an atheist. And if you don't want to call yourself an atheist, I mean, sure, but to say why call yourself an atheist, I don't get what we're getting at here. Call sign Marine and Kurt, thank y'all for following on TikTok. Appreciate it. Do you like Jesus? As a character, he was cool, but as a real person, I mean, I've been here about him. God's going to do whatever he wants with you, regardless what you think or no. Yeah, fair enough. I have a question. Do you have any beliefs? None supernatural, none magical, none paranormal, none divine, none spiritual, nothing like that personally. Deconstructing right now. Oh, how's it going for you? How's what conclusions have you gotten to so far? Do you think everything is as it seems, like no simulations, no gods, no tricks, just this? Yeah, I think it's just this. I think the very mind that allows me to parse the reality around me is based off of the reality around me. So I have no reason to think that my agency is so special that it has to call for something higher, you know, if that makes any sense. You are your own God? Yes, Queen. Yes, hell yeah. W. Do I believe 9/11 really happened? Yeah, it was 5. I saw it on TV. Have a question. Do you believe in ghosts and spirits? No, I don't believe in ghosts or spirits or anything like that. It's hard to deconstruct. You're so lonely, especially since your siblings are still religious. Yeah, it's going to be a lonely one. I won't sit here and sugarcoat it for you. It's going to be pretty lonely. If the people around you are still so convinced of this thing and you're not anymore, there's not going to be a lot of common ground when it comes to how you spend time that they apportion for the things they believe in. So I'd say definitely find some community with people that think similarly to you. It's the best thing, best advice I could possibly give you. What's up? That's how it goes now. What's up? Sure, I guess you could argue that atheism itself isn't necessarily religion, but it is a major component in regards to one's worldview as well as their hierarchy of values. Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I think that would be true of anybody's religious beliefs, period, point blank, full stop. Am I just jerking my ego off? No, I did that earlier. Why did you swap? Lack of evidence is why I swapped. Left Christianity. All right, if you know, I'm gonna just start. Yeah, I'm gonna just start removing people. Just Victoria, MC, Skadoosh. Just bye bye. Take care. Paul, cool guy. Bye. Just bye forever at this point. I'm not sitting here and going back and forth with some fucking wingnuts. Cascadian Goober, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Do I support LGBTQIA plus? Oh yeah, I support people's sexualities and gender identities, no matter what they are. Support their right to it, and I even go so far as to say that it would be kind of dumb to care about what other consenting adult human, you know, puts their stuff into or puts their parts near, you know. Need to find people with religious trauma in my country, but it's scary. Oh man, what country are you from? Oh, Belgium. I see. Oh, Belgium. Ooh, goddamn. Parlez-vous français or like yeah, I don't know, but I know they speak Dutch over there too. But beside the point, you'll make it. All I can say is you'll make it. I know Belgium used to be really, really Catholic, so I can imagine there's a lot of people over there that are going through something similar. Just gotta know where to look. You're from the Dutch part? Oh, over in the northern part. Okay, yeah. Well, all I can say is you'll make it. You got this for sure. Have you studied Calvinism? Just enough to know that Calvinists aren't people that I like talking to. I'd say that just in enough in that regard. I think anybody that appeals that hard to predestination is it's not going to be the most intellectually honest. Do you meditate? No, I don't meditate really. Yeah, I don't like being alone with my thoughts for too long. I'm not trying to be edgy, but I got depression, so it's not really fun. Are you less or more scared of death since you became an atheist? I would say I am overall less. I'd say less, yeah. I think not existing altogether. I didn't care for the billions of years before I existed, and I won't care for the billions of years after I stop existing. So, whereas if I was a Christian, it would have been, let me try to get this little 80 years or however long I get. Let me get this right so I can go to paradise and not get burnt for all of eternity, you know? So yeah, it's just the act of dying itself that I'm kind of worried about. Do you goon out? What the dude? Dude, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? Gosh, of course I do. Do you believe in the Big Bang? I acknowledge that the Big Bang happened. Yeah. What are the main things that helped you realize you were wrong? The claims made by Christianity of its self-evidence versus the evidence presented contradicting that idea. Like, for instance, the claims that Jesus rose from the dead and that there's good evidence to believe that he did can, you know, couple with the evidence presented not standing up to scrutiny. What is bro cooking? I'm not cooking anything right now. You respected religion at first, but you didn't get respect back, denying trauma and punishing for not forget. Yeah, I was right there with you for sure. At the very least, after I deconstructed, that's when there started to arise some issues with the people I used to converse with and stuff. Just as long as you're in a fold with them, they consider you a person. If after that, though, it was more so just making me a project. Celtics or Knicks? I don't really keep up with basketball, so I don't know who's better right now. What makes you think there's no God? I just don't see any evidence for a God being real. That's why I don't believe in one. Not being funny, bro, but trust me, if you, yeah, I mean, I still do. I mean, I'm not feeling it right now, right? But um, I take meds for it, so that's, you know, I definitely have it. God is the universe. I think the word universe works just well enough to describe the universe. I wouldn't call it God personally. You get the project part. Yeah. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. Adam, if you want to call the universe God, I mean, that's your prerogative, but, you know, don't try to project it onto me. Like, if I call my keyboard God, I don't expect you to call my keyboard God too, and just like, oh, now treat this keyboard as if it's God. That'd be kind of stupid, right? How do you feel about Christianity making claims? How do you feel about Christianity's main claims is that Jesus died for Christianity, so it must be true. Like you could say the same for so many religions, like Islam. The prophets died for Islam. Yeah, that's a really common point I get about them. It's like, oh, they wouldn't die for a lie. Like, firstly, no contemporary evidence for the apostolic martyrdom anyway, right? But even beside the point, it's like, even if there was, when I was 5 years old, I saw on the TV some people dying for their beliefs by hijacking a plane and flying it into buildings, right? Um, I think it was like 4 years before I was born, there was some people dying for their beliefs, having a multi-day siege with the ATF in Waco, Texas, right? And then I think it was like 14 years before that, there were some people in Guyana dying for their beliefs by drinking some cyanide-laced Kool-Aid. I think it was like Flavor Aid, sorry. At the behest of somebody that they thought was the Messiah. Like, to be fair, not all of them, did it willingly, but they did it nonetheless. So I don't think the ability to die for one's beliefs is what's going to prove your beliefs to be true. Apostasy is illegal in so many countries. Yeah, and those are countries I definitely don't want to go to. Welcome to Common Sense. Congrats, life started in our oceans. There you go. Abiogenesis, evolution. Let's have at it. Matter of fact, we get a clap for that. Hell yeah. Welcome to Common Sense, everybody. Everything is God, and Buddhism and Hinduism is defined as oneness. I mean, thanks for your explanation, Adam, but I'm not going to sit here and call everything that exists God. When people say the word God, or at the very least the people I interact with for the vast most part, and the people that I used to, they used to inhabit the religious spaces that I was in, and also me, most importantly, there was a idea of God that isn't just everything that exists within the universe as we know it. So, and when we talk about whether or not a God is real, more often than not, that's going to be this idea that I had and that people present to me is what we're going to be talking about. So I'm not knocking your like pantheistic idea. I'm really not. But what I'm saying is like trying to say, like this kind of weird sort of self-centered sort of, I call the universe God, so therefore if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in the universe because I say so. I'm going to take that the wrong way. Belief is a plague. Indeed. Yeah, I think we would be a lot better off if we weren't teaching children that they deserve hellfire, I'm a Christian and I hope to see these people on my mission. Well, I hope not. A God could be anything. The God is the creator. Yes, I wouldn't say yeah, because I don't believe in that either, but, this is the idea that most people have in mind when they're talking about God. Can you join as a guest? You got some insight on evolution? No, I'm not bringing up guests. I don't want to. It's like 80 people watching on YouTube, 40 on TikTok. I'm not going to ice out 120 people for one person. I think that would be antithetical to an open discussion. My feeling is you're going through a healthy questioning phase. It's hard to understand a higher power, but once you leave this level and see it's something else that's really fun. God on San Pedro. Ooh. I did, it wasn't San Pedro, but it was the other cactus. It starts with a P. I don't know if I could talk about it on TikTok or not, but I did that before a couple times. That was a wild trip. I didn't find God on it, but man, that was something else. Religion is nothing without evidence. Yeah. Sorry. I read that word wrong. Religion is nothing without violence. Yeah. And a fun story about me. Two of them, like I don't just have to. Both of my granddads were black. And one of my grandmothers was Native American. And one of my other grandmothers, part of the family was from Poland originally, like late 1800s. They came over before the war, so obviously they weren't Holocaust victims or anything, but nevertheless Polish. And so from all four grandparents are stories of Christianity being spread or being used against these people in the most violent, disgusting ways possible. So, yeah. I'm Christian, but I respect you, fam, and your wishes as long as you're healthy and staying strong. I'm not the healthiest person, but I'm getting there. Thank you for the kind words. So I appreciate it. Do you at least understand yourself better or feel better about the universe? Oh, yes to both. Absolutely. I was able to learn a lot about myself by not just suppressing a lot of my identity down in favor of a like what I think a God would have wanted or what my immediate like people in my immediate surroundings would have wanted. I believe in humanity, human innovation, human creativity, human rights, things that are tangible and seen, marginalized groups, causes that need support rather than focus on the hypotheticals. W outlook, hell yeah. Love it. Love to hear it. What about the idea that people will believe God if he could do absolutely anything, him casting himself into one and being born to experience his life? Hopefully that makes sense. I mean, he could. I'm not saying like a God that's not all powerful couldn't come down to the earth as a man for whatever reason, but just the entire rest of the story, like that man that he came down as, being sacrificed for a generational punishment that he put on humankind, and he could have chose not to put on humankind because again, all powerful, so powerful enough to come down as a human would have to be powerful enough to forgive people for, forgive humans for two people thousands of years ago eating a fruit, right? But so yeah, it's like that's the part that I fight back against, not whether or not God's capable of coming down as a human being. Late 1800s, Tesla said the universe was three things: energy, frequency, vibration. Master these, you're God. As seems a little woo woo for me personally. Group thinking Satan created hell, but like no, God did. Yeah, according to them, God is eternal. So if God's eternal, he's the almighty creator. He created everything, including hell and including evil / calamity, according to Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. My next sentence is nothing against anyone. I'm not forcing on anyone. Oh, God loves you. Oh, I'm going to do so much with that. But you have a good rest of your night, sunshine. My assessment on value is ever evolved. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. There's an anime about Jesus and a Buddha hanging out, which is silly. I kind of want to see that. I feel like that would be kind of funny. The woo-woo is what makes this life interesting. It could for other people that aren't me, sure. But for me, if we're talking about things that I'm expected to accept insofar as I dedicate my life to them, my being to them, that they shape my identity, mold my outlook of the world, mold my entire perspective. I'm going to want these things to be true and verifiable. Like that's just me. And if that's not you, I completely get it. But for me, like just vibration and the trees and the sun and just everything is the energy and the one and the hippy dippy stuff, just without no offense. I was offensive, but I'm not, I can't say no offense to that, right? I'll say with all due respect, but like the hippy dippy stuff, it's just not for me. It's about as far as I can tell you on that one. Wanted to watch the anime, but there's no English dub. I'd probably still watch it anyway. Am I gay? I don't know. Are you attracted to the same sex? If the answer is yes, then yeah, you're gay. But nothing wrong with being gay. God loves you, bro. That's called a parasocial relationship. At this point, yeah. The forbidden fruit has to do with sex. I couldn't care less if it was an actual fruit or not, dude. It's the fact that there's a generational punishment that needs to be atoned for by human sacrifice in the first place. It's just, that's the absurd part. Call the fruit whatever the fuck you want to. Like, call it I don't know, it's goddamn, I don't know, the world's first meth pipe for all I care, right? But the fact of the matter is that experiencing the thing shouldn't carry with it a generational punishment that a god should have to sacrifice himself in order to forgive for. Have you read St. Thomas Aquinas' works? I've seen his argument, like the 5 ways, and none of them stand up to scrutiny. God is a mystery. You'll never find him through your concepts. To find God, you have to drop the self. I've dropped the self many times on many different substances, and I didn't. I found hallucination, and I found a a person that didn't know anything, a person that ultimately just cannot possibly parse the entire universe around them. That's what I found. I didn't find some force that I feel the need to define as a god figure. Who will win, 100 gay men or 100 straight men? I honestly have no fucking clue. No goddamn clue. Probably the gay dudes. I don't know. Like, I used to live in Ohio. I used to go to trade school. There were some gay people at my school. Those motherfuckers can fight, dude. They are some. I don't know if it's like a commonality, but those motherfuckers are scrappy. I think it might come from a life of being picked on. Like, makes perfect sense, but they are some scrappy motherfuckers. You live in Ohio? Hell yeah. I used to live in Cleveland. My cotton candy shrunk inside of its container and created a dense sugar ball. If I leave it, it will become dense enough to cause a second Big Bang. You need to pack it full of like a few bigentillion more cotton candies and you'll be all right. Am I happier? I'd say overall I'm happier. Yeah, user 469. Thanks for asking. What's your favorite Pokemon? Do I even have a favorite Pokemon? I don't know, dude. What would be my favorite Pokemon? Favorite Pokemon? I don't know, actually. I do not know. Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that one. I'm not huge into Pokemon. One gorilla versus 100 humans. I think the 100 humans would take it. It's anybody that doesn't agree with me. Like, you just have to think about the number 100. It's just like 100 individuals. Or is a gorilla 100 times more powerful than an average human being? No. Even if they were, are they still mortal? Yeah. Since they're mortal, could a human hypothetically strategize a way to kill it? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm definitely taking the humans on that every day of the week. Which capital invented boneless wings? I'm not entirely sure which capital invented boneless wings. Speaking of capitals, though, thanks for reminding me. I haven't done that in a while. I know the capital of every single country on the planet, every single last one without fail. So, yeah, if you want to quiz me on that, quiz me on that. Jesse, thank you for the heart me. Hi, appreciate you. 100 hues versus one polar bear. I think the polar bear might take that, dude. One hue has scoliosis, so 100 hues will have scoliosis too. Buffalo. All right, dude. Okay, man. They invented boneless wings. I thought it was just like the hot. It might be a joke. I don't know. I'm way too stoned at the moment. Been eating that rock sugar. If you catch my drift. You sound like the how it was made guy. Oh, I think that's the first time I got that one, but I kind of get it. Capital of Merkletlatska. What in God's name is that, man? What if we selectively bred chickens until they were naturally boneless? That would be so fucking awful. That would suck. I'd lose faith in humanity if they did such a thing. A cool little theory I have for the Big Bang is our universe is vacuum decay from another universe. Yeah, it's an interesting hypothetical. For me, I more so subscribe to the cyclical hypothesis that the universe is in an eternal cycle of contraction and expansion. Robert Irwin said that instead of fighting a gorilla, we should be asking if it's okay. Yeah, fair. See here. 100 Christian men versus one atheist gorilla. Oh man, I'm taking a Christian men every day of the week. I'd even say 50 Christian men, because if there's anything Christians can do, they can definitely slaughter people that don't deserve it, for sure. What made you stop believing in God? I looked for evidence of God being real and found none of it convincing. That's why I left. So at the end of your life, you rather have lived believing in no God than believing in God or any God, for the fact, just an attempt to save your soul. There's a few issues with that. For one, it's not like I would rather believe in the true thing, you know, like the thing that is the most true, right? So it's not would I rather not believe in God or rather just believe for utility's sake. No, I'd rather believe in what's true. That's what I value personally. Restricted for some audiences. They're looking to restrict me for any fucking thing today. Holy shit, TikTok. Y'all are some fucking clowns. Oh my god. Anyway, but I'd rather believe in a true thing. But even beside that point, people can't choose their beliefs. So it's not like I can just make myself say, "Oh, I believe in Christianity now," to save myself. No, that's, you know, people can't do such a thing. They take in information, digest the information, process the information, and they're subconsciously convinced or unconvinced. And so even if, but let's say hypothetically, I could like pretend it, right? God's all knowing. He'd know I'm just pretending to save myself, quote unquote. He's know I'm just trying to save my own ass and like, you know, just go through the motions for utility's sake. So, you know, I don't know if he would appreciate such a thing in the first place. Even beside that, though, let's say he, you know, let's just even beside that point, why would I believe in one particular religion, just for the sake of their alleged pros and alleged cons versus just another religion with better pros or worse cons or some better balance of the two, right? So I don't know. It's just Pascal's wager just does not work. Are you glad that you evolved to not believe BS? I am very glad that I evolved to not believe BS. Absolutely. I consider it as big of a blessing as it possibly could be. I feel like I forgot something. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something really important. I don't know. Maybe to end the stream, go to sleep. You know, get some Z's or something. Is there any Valorant tonight? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna get off of here. You forgot to listen to Addison? No, I didn't forget to do that. I intentionally chose not to, and I want to continue intentionally choosing not to. The Great One 1422, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Sub on YouTube. Follow the Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick Trovo, Clapper, Lemonade, Blue Sky Threads. Goddamn. I don't post on Red Note. I don't know why I have that shit up there. I'm on there for like the shits and giggles at this point. I don't know. Join the Discord if you're over 18. I don't want kids mingling with adults. If you're under 18, don't join the Discord. You'll get banned. Simultaneously, if you're over 18, want to talk in private, I don't really answer DMs anywhere. Add me on Snapchat. Why not? If you want to support the stream, all that's in my link in my bio. But yeah, have a good rest of y'all's night. Appreciate y'all